Welcome back, you dirty babies. It is time for another TikTok Trash Tuesday. TikTok Trash Tuesday number 49. 49 of these bad boys. For those of you that are unaware of what we do over here on TikTok Trash Tuesday, every Tuesday, well, technically, throughout the entire week, I scroll through TikTok and I try to go through as much movie-related content as I can. If I come across movie-related content, I save it to the phone, and then I come back. I don't watch it. I don't watch it all the way. I usually watch like a couple of seconds, and I go, oh, this is something that I could talk about. I save it to the phone, bring it back here, paste them all together, and then we come back to react to them live with you every single, well, maybe not every single, but the majority, more Tuesdays than not. We will hang out here and talk some crap about people. Check the mic. Oh, shit. I'm sorry, fellas. I was putting it should have went to.
It didn't. That was the bull crap problem. I tell you what. No, here's the thing. No. I want to say this. I had it set up correctly to begin with. I really and truly did. The problem is that after it times out, because I set like when I want it to go out and everything, and that was like hours, and then for whatever stupid ass reason, StreamYard decides to go like, you'd like us to take everything that you've done and thrown it down the garbage chute? Yeah, we can handle that for you. And like, oh, super, okay, great. But everything sounds fine now. I want to make sure that we get this before we all crash out. Everybody good? We all good? All right. And for just fixing the mic alone, that's worth a like. That's worth a like. I listen, I'm working hard for you. Let me tell you guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I think I need as much support as one could possibly get, if I'm quite honest with you. I scroll through TikTok and stuff, and I see things, and let me tell you something, son. Let me tell you something. I don't know what the hell we're doing wrong. I don't know what we're doing wrong, because there are some people out there who have such garbage stuff and they put it on the internet, and I'm like, sons of bitches, how are we not doing better than we are? Because my God in heaven, there are some disgustingly bad programs out there, but we hope to not be one of those disgustingly bad programs this evening. As no, we go out to TikTok, we pull out some movie stuff, we got everything. We're talking a little bit of obsession. I think this is going to be the last time that I kind of talk obsession, at least for a little bit here, because unfortunately, as you may or may not know, with TikTok, social media, and all those other algorithms and stuff, as you are scrolling and you continue to interact with particular videos and stuff, they'll continue to feed you more of that. And at this point, I'm kind of tired of all the obsession talk. We're going to try to wring it out the best that we can this week, and then we'll just we'll move on from there. But do want to say thank you. All right, so we got it. All right, we're all good. We're good. Hi, what's up, everybody? Lightning, thanks everybody for coming in. We really appreciate you. Your grandpa passed away. That's sad, buddy. Well, we hope we can put a little bit of a smile on your face here tonight. Because that blows, man. That's no good. But we hope that we can kind of we hope that we can bring your spirits up just a little bit here by talking about some movie stuff, making fun of people, and that's ultimately what this kind of is. For those of you that don't know, TikTok Trash Tuesday is kind of like, it's a little bit of a news show because we're covering news as far as movies sort of stuff goes. We do a little bit of industry talk and stuff like that, but we do so it's a little bit of that. It's a little bit of riff tracks, mystery science theater, where I'm just kind of jumping in and making fun of people. That's just that's what we're gonna do here, and hopefully we can kind of put a smile on your face at the same time too. So let's get it going. I don't even know how long this video is this week. Hold on, let me even check. I didn't even really look. It's not as long as last week. I think this week's only. Let me look at my final output. It's an hour. It's an hour. That's not bad. That means that we'll have a 2.5 to 3 hour show tonight. Depends on how much of a rant I get in. You know what I'm saying? All right. Well, let's get it going, boys and girls. TikTok Trash Tuesday 49. Let's get the damn graphics up, shall we? Where are you, graphics? Well, where's the other guy? That's no bueno. How about that? Will that one work? Well, give me 1 second, gang. Oh, and by the way, show me. Let me know in the chat. Are you watching on? Are you watching on the vertical? Or are you watching on the horizontal? How are you watching tonight? Let me know in the chat. I'm curious. I'm curious. Oh, jeez. All right. Well, we'll just suffer with it, I suppose. See if one of these. We'll see if one of these damn works. Let's add this guy into the fold. All right, hold, please. Hold, please. I'm sorry. This should have all been done ahead of time. But these guys decide that they wanted. I love you, StreamYard, but there are times when I am quite cross with you. Please leave a like and subscribe. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Is there any movie that you're looking forward to seeing in the theaters this next couple of weeks? I don't know if anybody's down with stuff. I just like we looked at for this month and I was like, I don't really know, man. Okay. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with grease. Here we go. 2 seconds. I swear we're cooking. We're cooking. I promise. We're cooking. We're cooking. We're good. All right. Almost. Here we go. I just want to put it all together. There we go. Okay. All right. Thank you. So Digger, right? You saw that? I didn't watch the second trailer. I didn't watch it because honestly, the first trailer was enough to sell me alone. If you guys haven't seen the first teaser trailer for Digger, I saw it in the theater. It's a new Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu film, if memory serves. That's who wrote that. We're doing that one, right? But the original teaser trailer for this movie is, I swear to you, 2.5 minutes of going through Tom Cruise's career, showing you all the highlights throughout his career and stuff, and it makes you just go like, Tom Cruise might be the greatest American actor of all time. It's pretty amazing. And then they go into like maybe 30 seconds of what is in Digger, and you barely make them out. But I understand that the trailer is big, it looks good and stuff. There's part of me that does not want to watch it whatsoever. It's one of those that you may end up getting forced to watch it at some point or another. But frankly, I don't want to watch things I don't have to. I want to be surprised. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's kick it into gear. TikTok Trash 49. Let's go.
There's one 1980s movie that I find to be criminally underrated. I taped it off HBO once. Just once. But that tape, I wore it out. From this movie, I learned all about the Lincoln's birthday mutilations and the Groundhog's Day beheadings. It also taught me that you should never, ever let anything come in between your testicles and you. You were a Fargan ice hole if you did not watch Johnny Dangerously on repeat.
That was one I've never watched before, right? And I'm surprised that we did not end up covering it in our Michael Keaton month way back when. Surprised that this one didn't get on there. I know some of you guys are a little bit older. What was this on your Michael Keaton radar back in the day? I was too young for this, so I couldn't have been watching
In the 1980s.
It is foreign to me. I stopped by the Criterion sale and picked up the Blu-ray of Ghost Dog, Peeping Tom, and Sue Hark's The Blade and Harry Carey. Very, very nice. Very nice. I got Peeping Tom out of that collection. Yeah. Little Ghost Dog. Nothing like, let me tell you, I remember because Ghost Dog came out like when I was in high school, but there was just something about the idea of Forrest Whitaker with like a samurai sword that really just did it for us, you know? Johnny Dangerously is very funny, though every joke doesn't land.
Thumbs up or thumbs down to horror movies releasing in July. Starting with Lockbox from the director.
Lockbox. Do you remember when Al Gore talked to us all about lockboxes, everybody? So what would happen is we would put all of those things directly into a lockbox, and that will be safe for American citizens. If you were around back then, you would realize that this is an amazing Al Gore impression.
Of The Last Exorcism. This follows a
Ooh, The Last Exorcism was good.
young woman who takes in a traumatized cousin only to find out a malevolent entity has moved in as well. I love The Last Exorcism, so I'm willing to give this a chance. I'll give this an optimistic thumbs up. The Leeching, which by all outward appearances I had no interest in, but the tagline, Daddy loves you to pieces, honestly, has reeled me back in. I'll give this a tiny thumbs up. Evil Dead Burn is obviously the horror movie event of July. This gets 2 giant thumbs up.
Has anybody seen that? Like, I've heard so many mixed things on it. It's like part of me doesn't want to go, but like, I'm going to be frank with you. There's too much stuff out, and it's just at this point, I'm like,
It's one of my most
they should have parsed things out a little bit further. Is all I'm saying.
anticipated horror movies of the year. The Town That Takes is about a grieving father who must uncover the Croatoan legend behind the disappearance of his child. This feels like one part Legend of Roanoke, one part sinister. I remain optimistic, so I'll give this a thumbs up. We're getting not one but 2 shark movies this month, starting with The Bay, not to be confused with the highly underrated found footage movie from 2012. I'll give this an I should know better thumbs up. Her Private Hell is the newest from Nicholas Winding Refn, whom I have loved most of his stuff up to this point. Sophie Thatcher is just the cherry on top. I'm giving this 2 thumbs up. Pinocchio Unstrung has no business looking as gnarly as it does. I think the public domain horror has gotten out of control. Can this be the movie that turns this around?
No. No way in hell. Oh, man. Let me tell you something. If it were up to me and Bruce, we would have a month of just some of the garbagiest movies you've ever seen in your entire life with the likes of crap like this. There is something in watching movies that are so awful and so bad that it really makes you appreciate the good ones. You know what I'm saying? If you watch nothing but, 5-star bangers all the time, how are you going to enjoy it? You know what I mean? You gotta like dig down into the dregs of cinema every now and then. You gotta drag your tootsies through the asylum pool. You know what I'm saying? You gotta just dip it in there a little bit. You're not supposed to. It's gross, but every now and then, just to see what the other half lives like. And then you see it and it's gross and disgusting, and you're just like, oh God, that was a fun vacation, but we got to get the hell on out of here.
I think it can. I'm giving this an optimistic thumbs up as well. The other shark movie to drop this month, The Devil's Mouth, which again looks like generic big dick shark fare, and I'll give this an I should know better thumbs up. And finally, Nightborn, which will be releasing
Working on a Nightborn.
straight to Shudder at the end of the month. This is a Finnish language supernatural horror film from the director of Hatching,
Ain't that Ron Weasley in the corner there? Am I wrong?
which I actually really enjoyed, so I'm optimistic for this one as well. We have thumbs up across the board. How many of these will be bangers? Let me know what
Listen, Pat, I appreciate you. I love the enthusiasm, but we all know these movies ain't gonna be no damn good. Let's be honest with ourselves, okay? Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's not get around here, huh? What are we kidding ourselves? Your boy is so broke, not enough money for all the movies. I agree, man. I agree. There's part of me, if I didn't know the experience that was on the other end, I would probably get into the either, and I don't know which I would do either, is either the AMC A-list or Regal Unlimited. I would do one or the other of those. But again, like I said, I know those are further theaters from my house than the one that I kind of normally go to. So it'd be like adding another, we'll call it back and forth, another 20 plus minutes onto the trip and everything. So it's like, would I continue to go out all that much? I don't know. I'm watching Close Encounters of the Third Kind for $2 next week for the first time. Congratulations! Oh my word! And in the summer of Spielberg, no less. Congratulations on that, Marley. That is awesome, man. I'm trying to remember. I think I saw Close Encounters on the big screen once, and that was like way back when. We're talking like probably like we'll call it 05 to 08, somewhere in that neighborhood, I think. Probably 35 millimeters. We're talking that far back. My local indie theater is doing $2 movies Monday through Friday. Now, again, you remember everyone here who has participated in TikTok Trash Tuesday for however many weeks, you have consistently heard me say Monday through Thursday, tickets should be very, very low. Like I said $5. $2 is even better. But let me ask you this. When the prices are $2, are people showing up to the actual theater? Because I bet they are. I'll bet they are. Evil Dead Burn is all right. I'll tell Bruce that I didn't think that he should pay theater prices to see it. Hey, that's fair enough, man. That's fair enough.
You're most excited for in the comments.
All right, what's next?
We got the new Blind Buys in from Criterion, and I'm gonna.
Oh, speaking of Criterion, here we got a budding, and these are his words, not mine. A budding new film collector here and everything. So he's kind of going out to the Criterion sales. Awesome to hear.
Kick it off with my favorite and the most obvious one. It is The Princess Bride. I have never seen this one. Was never interested in it.
Oh, now see that, and I love that too, man. I love that too. I know that there's going to be a contingent of people out there when they hear somebody say, "I've never seen The Princess Bride," and their reaction to that person is, "Hey, man, what's wrong with you, bro?" Your reaction to that person should be, "Oh my gosh, I wish I could. I wish I could at this age have not seen any of that and then get to see it for the first time with fresh eyes." That's what your reaction should be. Keep that in mind when people are like watching something that is that kind of, considered like a classic and everything. If they're watching that for the first time, be jealous of that, actually. That's what you should be. You shouldn't be mad at them. You should be jealous that you can't relive that for the first time. Because man, oh man, what it would be like to relive like Back to the Future or something for the first time. Star Wars for the first time. Even though I say Star Wars, by the time that you've seen that at this point, you're probably going to be disappointed because it's been hyped too much to hell. So if you've reached this, I haven't seen Star Wars at this point, don't. Just don't.
Shout out Taven. I saw his video. He bought this one during the Criterion sale as well, and it inspired me to get it because this is awesome. Having it look like a book, incredible. I
Butterfly in the sky.
love that. Back has this little As You Wish. Mine's got a little defect in it, I guess. I absolutely love it, though. I love that it's like a little storybook. I love once you get in there. The yellow and the decorations are beautiful. The disc artwork looks incredible as well. This might be just my favorite piece of physical media, just by looks alone. This is awesome. I'm
trying to think about what my favorite one would be. My favorite physical thing that I've... I think about that.
Why don't we have more of this? Next up, another one I'm pretty excited about. It's Lady Snowblood.
Yeah, that's a good one right there. I got Lady Snowblood. I don't have it on Criterion. I had it on a disc from somewhere or the other back in the day. It's a pretty good copy. So I've never really kind of rushed out to get the Criterion one because, like, number one, it's not a movie that I revisit all that often, and the one that I've got, I maintain looks pretty good.
It is both movies, and apparently this is what heavily...
I don't have the second movie. That's fair enough, though.
Inspired Kill Bill. Inside it's got your classic Criterion like essay thing, but this is a poster on the backside. I love that. That might have to go up somewhere. And the disc with the little umbrella. I have no idea what it's about. Again, blind buy, no idea.
That's even better. It's even better when you really don't know nothing about it.
Very cool. Also extremely cool, this entire back is all white until you get under the disc where there's a little bit of blood spatter. It is awesome. I love that little detail. It's small but mighty. And of course, last up we have House.
Hell yeah, man. I've seen House in 35 millimeter twice. It's been pretty rad every single time. I love seeing new people's reaction to the movie. It is a time and a half. I got a house sticker on the side of my refrigerator and everything. Big fan.
One I know least about, I just know it's a weird horror film with a very cool cover, and I was like, let's go for it. I love that the back also just kind of encapsulates that weirdness, a little bit off-kilter writing. I love that. On the inside, I have no idea what's the interior of the case. I have no idea, but I love the
It's so good. Gosh, that movie's so much fun.
disc artwork. It is absolutely beautiful. That little pamphlet, classic Criterion stuff. Nothing crazy special about this one, but I have seen some cool things on this one. I'm excited to watch House.
Definitely one to watch with some friends and stuff, because people certainly people that are unsuspecting of what's going to go on in House. Oh man, so much fun. All right, what's next?
I was just watching Point Break, directed by Catherine Bigelow.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And my favorite part of the movie is when Johnny Utah orders 2 meatball subs, 1 tuna sandwich, and 2 lemonades for $7.84.
How much is the gas in Die Hard? Isn't it like 78 cents or something like that? And that's LA. Like LA expensive gas was like 80 cents, was like 78 cents or something like that.
Because I'm pretty sure that would cost like $50 nowadays.
No kidding, man. We've times is rough.
Netflix is losing audience members by about 30 to 70% in between seasons of their most popular shows.
I mean, let me ask you guys a question. Who is a current Netflix subscriber? I think I got to cancel because I'm like, I don't really watch Netflix for nothing. I think I ended up having to subscribe because it was just a way for us to watch a movie for the show and everything. But how many of you are still regular Netflix fans? And if indeed you are Netflix fans, as I would imagine the case would be, is it for mostly their original programming, or is there still enough of a variety of movies on Netflix to just kind of pick and watch of like, oh, here's a horror movie, here's an action movie or a drama or whatever, or is it mostly just their particular, not even just their television series, but even their own like original movies and stuff like that? I just, it's not for me. I haven't been an avid Netflix watcher in a hot minute. So much so that like it's going to have to take. I mean, it took the show in order for me to get something that I would actually watch, pay for like a month of Netflix or something. That's how much it had to be, because even when Guillermo del Toro was like, "Hey, here's my new movie," I was just like, "Well, I won't be watching that." Just because I'm like, why am I paying for Netflix? What am I paying for Netflix for? Who's doing that these days? I feel like they're failing because who cares? And then they just regurgitate the same crap.
And they apparently have no idea why, but the answer is so goddamn obvious. I think there are 3 main reasons that Netflix has this problem that all kind of go hand in hand, and all of them have to deal with memory. One of them is the binge model, which I know a ton of people like, but releasing an entire season in one weekend and having people consume it in 1 to 2 weeks is actually incredibly bad because it stores that show in your short-term memory.
Yeah, exactly. He's absolutely correct on that. I'm sure it's nice enough and everything, because you can just smash right through it. But at the same time, too, it doesn't leave any anticipation for stuff. It doesn't lead any buildup. It doesn't lead to people having, not that I want to do it, but it doesn't lead to people having like podcast discussion shows and stuff like that, water cooler talk, XYZ, all that kind of jazz.
People don't remember what happens in a lot of Netflix shows, not because they're bad, but because information is being stored differently because of how fast they consume it. You largely forget what happens in a season on Netflix, and then when it finally comes back for season 2, you don't really care because...
And the other problem is that when you come back for season 2 or whatever the thing is, sometimes it's 2 or 3, years removed from the last season that you watched. And it's just like, I don't even care anymore. It's like when they went and did Squid Games, chapter 2 or whatever the hell they called it. I didn't watch because guess what? I was done. I was over. I've sailed that ship. It was fine for what it is, but I'm done and I want to move on now. Your time has passed.
he can't fully remember what happened in that show. Where I guarantee you, you can remember what happened in a show that was released weekly, that you consumed weekly, because that show gets stored in your long-term memory. And also, you're probably talking about that show with other people. This leads us to sustaining that show week after week in your memory by talking about it with other people. The binge model does not allow that to happen. A Netflix show is actually pretty hard to talk to others about because people consume that show at different rates. You may watch one episode a day or one episode a week, where your coworker or friend are on a completely different timeline and they watch the whole season in an entire day. So because of that, you can't talk about it week after week for months on end, and that worsens the memory of that show. And the memory you had of that show gets even worse over time, which leads us to the third reason, because it can take years for a Netflix show to return for another season because they suck at greenlighting shows.
I just like I see all this stuff and I'm like, I got no use for any of this. I don't really care, you know. Still have a very good variety, I think, and it's the only place that I can see Nomura, one of the greatest animated features of all time. All right. The Night Bard says the only subscription I have is YouTube Premium. I have YouTube Premium as well, and I will say it is absolutely worth it, just not to have ads. And if you ever hang around somebody that doesn't have premium and stuff, you see the hell that other people live in. I couldn't live like that. I couldn't live like when they were like, "Hey man, your price for YouTube Premium's going up." And you're like, "I don't care." Like, I mean, I hate to say that out loud, but it's just like, I don't care. I ain't watching a jillion years of ads. And for those of you that out there are like, "Oh, I use the ad blocker," and like, you can't do that. Like, it's such a pain in the ass. I just want to turn stuff on, and I'll pay for the privilege. Thank you very much. I'm not a child. I subscribe to Netflix for my kids, but Burt Kreischer specials why would you watch Burt Kreischer? Are you just trying to make me angry right now? Is that the goal of what we're doing here? We're watching Burt Kreischer specials. My God.
And that worsens your memory of that show because you're going to have to try to remember something that you watched in one weekend over 2 years ago. And because of all those reasons, because your memory is so fucked, you really don't give a shit when a new season comes out of a
He got real dirty in the end there, didn't he?
Netflix show. And Netflix does not understand this, or they don't want to admit this, because this is the very model that they created. They created this problem of binging shows and taking forever to create another season. And because of this, their viewership is dropping so bad in their second seasons. And they have to admit that they are wrong in order to move forward, which they will never fucking do.
I've said it before and I've said it again. Hollywood will die by its own hands. Hollywood says, we want this, we want that, we want to make sure that the industry is like this, and then they all turn around and shake hands with Netflix. What are we doing? Goodness gracious, I'm dying over here. Give me a second here. I want to check something. Hold on there now. Hold on, partner. I'm doing checking a little something out here. There. I want to make it a little better for the people on the vertical. There you go, people on the vertical. It's better for you now. My face is smaller. Everyone enjoys that. Get them off the screen. All right, here we go.
Ooh, I love this movie. You know, I always said Benedict Cumberbatch should do more rom-com.
Criterion Closet, but the guy doesn't watch movies.
What do you mean? Yeah, Doctor Strange in Love. You mean Doctor Strangelove? What? You haven't seen this movie, have you? Yeah, I've never seen this movie. Pan's Labyrinth. This looks like a fun time for kids. You know what? I'm gonna show it to my very impressionable 8-year-old nephew. Aw, a brighter summer day. You know, I think we all need something uplifting. And what better way to stay positive than by watching a 4-hour movie? Do the right thing? Psh, already do. It's called nepotism. Yo, did the two girls make out in this movie? Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, but the story, yeah, I'm getting it. Ooh, this one looks important. 7 Samurai. Is one of them named Jack? Lahane, French, black and white. That's art. You know,
That's art. Oh man, that reminds me of like so many So many movie critics from newspaper movie critics is how I was supposed to say that.
I actually speak a little French. Really? Yeah, that's how I know this one translates to tiny asshole. Excuse me? Yeah, petite maman. That's Spanish, dumbass. L, tiny asshole. The movie's about two kids.
Tiny assholes.
Oh no. This sounds like a sexy movie in the heat of the night.
Oh yeah. Nothing sexy about those two guys. Nothing at all.
Racism. Never mind. Why would you name a movie Brazil but not have the movie be set in Brazil? That's so stupid.
It is a good question, though. You know, it's like naming a movie San Diego and it takes place in South Carolina. That doesn't make no damn sense.
The Before trilogy? Before what? Marvel? Explain to me why a movie about a guy cleaning toilets is good, because I don't believe you. Dazed and confused? I'm dazed and confused. I don't know any of these movies. Like, is this movie about Nick Wilde from Zootopia? No, it's not. Then why is it about a fox? Answer me this, okay? Can I put this movie next to my Harry Potter collection? It's not about an actual sorcerer. Then why would you call it that?
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Not a lot for a movie called Sorcerer. Not a ton of sorcery in it. If we're fair, you know what I mean?
Oh, thank God, a movie I know. The Princess Bride. Oh, this is Anne Hathaway's best performance, although I do prefer the sequel. I think you're talking about Princess Diaries. Motherfuck!
That's good. That guy's great, man. I like his David Lynch impression too.
A lot of people talk about Coppola and Shia LaBeouf. I've seen footage of it. Was it combative or what?
Yeah. Yes, it was very combative. They're screaming at each other constantly. It's funny because when you watch it, you can really see it from both angles, I think. I watch it and I understand that Shia is trying to get this old man to actually give him some information so he can, do his job, essentially. He's just like, hey, I'm trying to act here. Can you give me something? And at the same time, too, I can see Coppola's position of, hey, man, just say the lines that I wrote down on the thing. Don't worry about motivation, all this other stuff, or where you should be. Why don't you just do the damn thing that I told you? Because Coppola, it feels like, just wants things to exist and come out of nothing. And then that makes a lot of sense coming from the era that he came from in the 60s and stuff, being all, loosey-goosey hippie and stuff like that. So it makes sense that that's the avenue that Coppola would want to go down, but it also makes sense that Shia would want to have, one of the greatest directors of all time actually direct him, So I understand where both people are coming from, but the best part of it all is that they're doing it for a really shitty movie. Megalopolis is absolutely awful. I wish you could see it. I really, really do. And I did want to do it for we're thinking about next month being development hell month. We got 5 weeks in August, and we're thinking about doing movies that just kind of sat in development hell. They could be good movies, they could be bad movies, but man, if Megalopolis was easily available, we would 100% be doing that movie, because I think everyone needs to see that movie at least once. It is an absolute terrible movie, but it is a terrible movie that only somebody that's kind of like secretly, talented, but maybe has lost a couple of steps over the years and whatnot. That's only something that somebody that has that kind of level could actually do. Because somebody stupid wouldn't be able to put together what he put together. It's something else, man.
Yeah, I mean, Shia, we had a week of rehearsal, which was really unusual in this day and age. And then the shoot was like 4.5 months. So I was around him a lot, both of them, obviously. And, in rehearsal, the first day of rehearsal, I was like, I kind of said to myself, if I get through a week of rehearsal with this guy without giving a smack, it's going to be a miracle.
Really?
Yeah, because he's very...
What is it?
His process is like, he's very, like my Jewish friends say, he's a nudge. He's a nudgy,
He's a very animated guy. And I was talking with somebody about this. They realized Feast was a Project Greenlight movie. And I also pointed out that the Battle of Shaker Heights was the second season of Project Greenlight that kind of, was one of the first movies that Shia LaBeouf was in. And you can see all the way back then, he's like 15 or something like that on that movie. And even in all the behind the scenes things, Shia LaBeouf has always been Shia LaBeouf. That much I can definitely tell you. The person that you are seeing now is not very dissimilar to the person that he was at like 15 years old.
He's just every second, and it's like it's a long day. You got to like give people a little room, and he's nudging Francis, and he's this, and he's got an idea about everything, and it never stopped. And the sad part of it for me is that I think he's one of the most talented actors I've ever seen, and so he gets in his own way. It's just like do the part, man. Just do it.
No. But see, that's the thing, though, is like sometimes just getting in that way and being able to do that thing is what does it for that actor and whatnot. And I think ultimately it's him trying to get to a particular point and the other guy not reciprocating that, want to get to that point. That's got to be annoying.
And Francis has put $150 million of his own money up. He wants you to do it this way.
Yeah, but he wants to just do it this way, but this way doesn't make sense sometimes. And sometimes when you got to tell an 80-year-old man, hey, old man, your shit's kind of stinky around here. What are we doing? It is what it is, man.
Do it this way. And then once you've done it this way, Francis will say, you want to do another one? But he would like not do it Francis's way. It's like this guy. Constantly. And it just was like, I didn't want to get in the middle and engage or whatever because, he
really talented guy.
Really talented, but man, impossible. Unless you're ready to just let him make his own movie and do his own performance and you just turn the camera on.
Right.
Which I guess that's what he wants, but that's not our job. I mean, if I'm in a scene with you and I want to do something that's just going to run you over like a steamroller, well, you shouldn't put up with that, right?
No. Yeah. I mean, we should be working together.
Yeah, find a third way, not just my way or your way, right?
Something that works for both of us.
Right, and the director, right?
But he's very smart, right? I mean,
super smart.
Yeah,
he wasn't saying things that were crazy. It was just, you got to have one director. You got to have one guy. So anyway, I hope he figures it out.
Listen, I hope so too.
Yeah, but like look at the end result of what Coppola put together. Maybe he needed somebody to tell him, hey, we should probably try to get our heads around whatever the hell it is you're trying to do here.
I mean, my brother worked with him on Transfer, liked him.
Yeah.
And, he's a complicated kid. I mean, he made that movie, directed that movie about his childhood, his crazy father. And
Yeah, we went around the table the first day and it was like, introduce yourself, and he was like, hi, I'm Shia. I grew up in California. My dad was a drug dealer. My mom was an artist.
Yeah.
And here I am. And it was like, okay, that's a funny line, but he's sort of saying up front, there's going to be some chaos.
Yeah. Well, I pray for him.
Me too.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, he's a big talent.
That is some very nice talk for somebody that probably hates that guy's guts, like hardcore. He's like, I'm gonna say this is gonna be nice enough. William freaking Sorcerer began a lifelong feud between my dad and the local newspaper film critic. I had that with my local film critic and The Road to Perdition. I really liked it. He did not think it was all that great, and I was just like, "You were wrong." And I wrote him a letter, and he wrote me a letter back, and like we had a little exchange there. And had social media and stuff really had the proliferation that it had today, we'd have had some sort of beef online. But that, luckily for both of us, that was not the case then. I was on Twitter, but he wasn't. You know what I mean?
I just went to the thrift store and bought a ton of movies, so I am putting them away, and I thought I would share how I do it.
I got this video because like this kind of stuff intrigues me. This is not something that I would do myself. This is not me. I like them up on the shelf. I want them to kind of have like a library-esque sort of appearance where you can walk in and very easily sort of peruse everything. To me, that's my aesthetic. But I'm always curious to see how other people do things and how things might be a bit different. And I've seen similar versions to this, but I wanted to see what this lady's all about. Let's check it out.
So I have these sleeves that I bought off Amazon. And I fold them. I take out the art. I fold them in a specific way so that the title fits along the edge here. And then I put it in the box like that. And so that way you can see the title and flip through super easily. It is my favorite way of storing movies that we've ever had. And it only takes a little bit of time to like put everything together. And the sleeves are not super expensive, and it takes up so little room. Like we probably have, I don't know, 150 movies, and we only have 3 of these boxes.
It's interesting. Again, I don't know that it's for me. I feel like I got to have stuff up there. Like if you're really into kind of hiding stuff and you're into the minimalist whatnots, but you still want all the physical media there, that's a good option for you, I would say. That's not for me though.
Here's another one that is like a mess. But yeah, I just bought all of these, and that is the plastic remains.
Hey, give me some of them. Can I have some of them? Give me the ones that don't suck, please.
But yeah, the only thing I would recommend is, like I said, making sure that you fold it this way so that the title shows.
And see, there's a difference, right? Because like that's a slip cover. So like slip covers are going to be different than non-slip covers. Be annoying.
It's here at the top. That makes it a lot easier to store.
I don't like it.
But yeah.
It's not for me. It's not for me. I appreciate it a lot. What that your heart is in it really well, but it's not for me, man. It's not for me.
Steve Sondheim said that the South Park movie was the best musical he'd seen in about 15 years.
I mean, as soon as we got...
I agree with that statement. I love South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. I think it is so good. Like, I was going to go see it anyway because, you know, I'm like, 17 years old when that movie comes out. And South Park is the biggest thing. South Park's the biggest thing in the world at that point. And I go to see it, and it is a musical, and your boy likes a musical. Let me tell you, I enjoy myself a musical. And South Park, South Park is an amazingly good musical. When we get to the point where we have the marathon there at the end, it is just like these guys are beyond brilliant at writing just like really great music and doing it with, you know, these awful characters. It's so good.
At the deal to do a movie for South Park, we were like, this is gonna be a musical. And I remember I got a letter actually from Stephen Sondheim. I just randomly got a letter from him saying that was one of my favorite musicals of the last 15 years. And then he actually sent me another one after Team America and said, that's my new favorite musical.
Everyone has AIDS. Oh my gosh, dude. That theater experience, everyone was just dying. It's so good. It's so funny. The Gary getting drunk and just throwing up everywhere scenes, just crazy. The Kim Jong-il stuff. It's just it's one of these goated movies that you're just like, holy cow, dude. The things that they got away with. The what was the Actors Guild Association? the famous Actors Guild.
Now, it's my understanding, Matt, you don't even know who Stephen Sondheim is, right?
I do now.
You do.
I don't think I did a few years ago.
He's like, he's the musical guy. I'm just the support help. I'm happy to be here.
You guys are musical theater nuts.
Yeah,
and you
absolutely.
have no interest in the thing at all.
Well, not no interest, but I definitely get it now, I think, a lot more. And I really appreciate musicals a lot more. But I came to it the weirdest way. Like, I started doing them first and then started liking them, which is kind of odd. But
if you watched the typical South Park episode on a Sunday night before it airs, it would be unwatchable. I mean, it wouldn't make any sense. Yeah. It's like Monday around lunchtime that we've gone through every version of that story, and we've gone this way and we've gone that way, and we're like, that doesn't work, this doesn't work. And a lot of times too, people think that we start an episode going, we need to say this about this, you know, but the truth is we'll just go, oh, we should talk about this subject. This thing's huge right now. And we won't even know how we feel about it until like Tuesday. We're like, well, I didn't even know I felt that way about that. We do the show fast, like Matt's saying, but I know that our show goes through as many or not, if not more than a Simpsons script or anything like that.
No, you know, films are just abandoned, right? They're never finished, right? It's that quote. And that is what AI is going to bring into live action, is more iterations and more freedom before you have to abandon it.
I don't know. I needed to hear more of the AI context of all of that sort of thing. Yeah, man. South Park musical, so damn good. So good. It was just like, again, it was that kind of jumping up and being a bigger and better thing than what you saw, you know, on screen at home and everything. So love it.
I think I'm gonna get some hate for how much I enjoyed this movie.
Oh man, I stopped it right here. I don't know what she's going to talk about. All I heard is I think I'm going to get some hate for liking this movie. And listen, I am willing and able to dispense some hate. I don't know what you've heard, but I'm raring to give some out. But if it goes the opposite way, I'll give kudos where I need to. I'm impartial like that. Let's see where this goes.
I recently watched Forbidden Fruits.
I haven't seen it, so now I can't tell you.
This is about 3 hot girls that work at a store in the mall, Free Eden, and another hot girl comes to work at the store. They have this sort of cult sisterhood, and they're doing spells and talking.
I ain't watching no witchcraft movie. I didn't bring none of that Harry Potter into the house, and I won't be bringing any of this into the house. We will not have an unclean home.
To Marilyn Monroe, and it then goes off the rail and is crazy. I actually really wanted to see this when it was out in theaters. I saw a lot of people not like this. And still I kept my optimism about new movies and saw that it was streaming on Shudder. I watched it. It was so
Shudder, tell your movies not to come our way.
Fun. It's like hot and fun and funny.
Shudder.
And not meant to be taken seriously at all. I recently have really been enjoying watching things Lily Reinhardt's in. Even if a movie isn't great, I still like her performance. In this, particularly, I liked all 4 of the main women. I thought they all did a really good job. They were all funny in their own ways. This movie felt like
Stupid Billy Bob Thornton. Because whenever I hear something like that, I go, not funny, haha, funny queer. From Sling Blade, everybody. Why everybody just goes, not funny.
bodies. Like, that's what I kept thinking, is that it just kind of reminded me of the feel of bodies. Like, kind of making fun of Gen Z a little bit, kind of leaning into it, but like also being really funny. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed bodies.
I'm trying to remember if I saw Bodies, or I just saw the trailer.
This is
bad news either way.
Streaming on Shudder, but I didn't really feel like it was very horror. There was some stuff towards the end where it gets, there's like a little bit of gore, I guess, but it just didn't feel like a horror movie. But I still liked it. It's streaming on Shudder. If you've seen this movie, let me know your thoughts in the comments.
That's what I'm doing every time I hear Shudder now.
Because until you've been to America, you don't know what's real and what's not.
I thought this was interesting. This isn't quite as, closely tied to the movies, but it is. During the World Cup and everything, as many Americans saw via social media and whatnot, there were a lot of people visiting us from all over this great globe of ours. They came on down to America and saw so many things that they could have sworn up and down were things that we made up. People going to school in yellow school buses, that apparently blows a lot of minds. It's like, why would we make that up? Because I'm going to be honest with you, if I go to London and I see a red double-decker bus, I'm just going to be like, hey, look at that. The double-decker buses we've been seeing. I don't think that you only do it in movies. You've seen them in places. Okay. I see the red phone booth. I'm not going to look at it and go, you've got to be putting me on a red phone booth, bro. What? I thought they just put these in the movies. This is a real thing. We wouldn't have that. We wouldn't have that reaction. We would just go, oh, you'd want to take a picture in it. It's the iconic thing, blah, blah, blah. But you wouldn't question its existence. You know what I mean? But they do that. Let's see some of the things that she has seen that made her go, oh my God, I thought Americans only did that in movies and TV.
All you can go on is what you've seen on the TV and in the movies. But let me try.
I mean, not like there's world events or stuff going on. Like, we're kind of like the topic of discussion quite a bit. I don't know how people don't know what's going on over here. I understand why we don't know what's going on over there, because you're lesser than us. But, you know, why you don't know what the Kings are doing, who's to say?
Try and explain. I'll try and set the scene. So you're a child. You're growing up in the UK. And it rains a lot.
You say, hello, mummy. Hello, daddy. We're having porridge for dinner. Pretty much what I imagine it to be, yeah?
So you do spend a bit of time watching TV. You've got 4 channels. You get a couple of...
My God. So few channels.
Hours of cartoons in the morning, and then you get a couple of hours of cartoons after school. Then as you get older, you start hiring
a little bit of Top of the Pops
videos out from the local video.
Why do I know that, you know, about your country? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that that's, you know, voodoo
store. And you're hiring out The Addams Family Values, Beethoven, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, Homeward Bound. And as a child, you think,
I thought all of the cats and dogs started talking on account of Milo and Otis. I don't know how they do things in America. Perhaps the animals talk.
Wow, there's a country out there and it looks magical.
It is, actually. It is, as a matter of fact. And I did always like it, to, you know, when you see all the people that are coming in from all around the world and stuff, and they really get a sense of the size of this country and how absolutely huge we are, how all the states are, you know, very similar, but also very different at the exact same time too. How just everything from, you know, the typography of the land here and everything. I mean, like where I live alone, I'm 3 hours from the mountains, 3 hours from the beach. That's pretty awesome. Like, you know, and you can go the other direction, and there's so much more that's all the way, you know, on the other side. It's crazy, man.
Families are going on these amazing adventures. They are living in humongous houses. They've got yellow school buses. They have elaborate Christmases. At Halloween, the children are putting costumes on and running up and down the street.
They're enjoying their lives. How on earth?
Trick or treating. And as you get older, you start hiring out films like Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. But then cable comes to town. Once you have cable, you realise,
oh, Ruby, don't take your cable to town,
that there's 2 extra channels there that you can watch, Nickelodeon and Trouble, and you are going to be watching back-to-back American shows all weekend, or at least I did, and all week. And
you know what we had? You know what our British show was? Mr. Bean. That was our impression of everything British, was just Mr. Bean, you know. It's very, I don't know. That was pretty much my thought of like, oh, they're all like Mr. Bean, if we're honest.
Till the early hours, I would stay up late watching all these programs: Sister, Keenan and Cal, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Clarissa Explains It All, Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Obsessed much?
Saved by the Bell. And obviously you're a bit older, so you start to question whether
Screech was hot or not. You just don't know, you know, right? Is Screech hot? I can't tell.
What you're seeing on TV is reality. How are Tia and Tamara's parents affording that massive house? You start to wonder how the McAllisters could afford that mansion, and then
Daddy sold cocaine. Come on, lady.
And also fly the family to Paris for vacation. You start to wonder those things. You start to question those things. But
well, that's the thing. When you're John Hughes and you grow up rich, you don't even be thinking about that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Look at all the John Hughes movies, all of the rich kids, and they got the roughest problems. All the rich kids, huh? Their daddy doesn't like them enough. Oh, but you eat every night. Shut up.
Nobody could vouch for whether they were real or not. In the 90s, hardly anybody in the UK went on holiday to America. They all went to Mallorca, Menorca, or the Canaries. There was hardly anybody that went to America who could come back and say, yeah, that's real, that's accurate. So when you get older and you can finally visit America, you realise, oh, that was accurate, that not so much. Even the school buses, the yellow school buses. So that is why Europeans are starstruck when they come to America. It feels like we're in the movies. It feels like everything that we've grown up watching is accurate in a lot of cases, not everything, but a lot of the stuff is accurate.
We're the best. What can we say? What can we say? What can we say? We got people that are getting all the videos and stuff. They're going like, hey, man, I had to go back home. Food is ruined now. That's right. They came to America and they tasted flavor for the first times in their life. And they had to abandon it and go back to soggy fish and chips. Good luck. Good luck, gang. Good luck. Could be taking, take some cumin out with you or something. You know what I'm saying? If I go to London and see a blue police box, I'm leaving because the doctor is probably near. I've started to throw in a word that wasn't there. Which is. I'm trying not to get canceled. I'm going to put it to you that way. I'm going to put it to you that way. America, that's flavor country. You're damn right it is, boy. Get that little bit of America in between your gum and jaw there. Woo! All right, give me a second. The dogs are barking. Somebody's got to do something, I would imagine. So give me a sec. We're going to stay tuned. Stay tuned. Hold on. Stand by. Right back here in just a moment. Smoke them if you got them. And I'm trying to just buy time until there we go. Okay. All right. Stand by, everybody. We'll be right back. All right. Sorry this took so long. I'm on double dog duty. This little devil is called Sadie, and she's a little turd. Apologize. Apologize for wasting people's time on the show. Don't look away. Look at them and apologize. Say you're sorry. Maybe she'll learn one day. Maybe she'll learn. It's not true. She won't. All right, lay down, dummies. Go lay down. Thank you. Anything but whatever you're doing now. Holy shit. All right. No. That's it. She's a loner. She's a loner. My parents are at the beach this week, so I am being the dutiful son. Come on, Banner, get away there. Okay. Now we're back at it again. Here we go.
Netflix is allegedly going to buy Letterbox.
No! Why? Why? Why are you trying to ruin my day? Why are you trying to ruin my day, Joe? Why?
My name's Joe Russo. I make movies. Let me talk to you about why the streaming giant probably wants the social media app.
Just disgusting. Hold on. Oh my gosh, these guys. Just stay still. You're making too much noise.
After learning in April that the cinephile app Letterbox is looking to sell, we now have some idea of who the buyers might be, and one of them is Netflix. And because it's a streaming service that's looking to buy Letterbox, of course all the cinephiles are losing their minds.
Yes. Yes, because they'll then just become a prop and a tool for Netflix and promoting their bull crap. They'll throw their crap at the top. They'll make sure that their stuff gets priority. Don't think that we don't think that, because it's what's going to happen. It's going to destroy Letterboxd if they bought them. It's a big mistake. And if somebody is good at it, it ain't me. But if somebody's good at it, you need to be making a Letterboxd replacement right now. Right now.
But I think there's one reason that Netflix wants Letterbox above all else. Letterbox is gamifying watching movies. Gen Z are huge power users of Letterbox, and that is one of the big reasons I believe they're going back to the movies. They want to show their friends what movies they've seen, and they want to make sure they see the good ones first.
That's a good thing. That is a good thing. Netflix, you need to keep your nose out of that business. It don't belong to you.
So why wouldn't Netflix, a streaming service that thrives off of addiction, want an addicting app? They probably
an addicting app. They'll take all of your data. They'll find out what you like, and then they'll start programming those movies to you. Now, I say that because that'll be their idea, right? But the problem is they won't know why. And that's the biggest problem with Hollywood right now, is they don't know why they do what they do. When something is successful, they never learn the right lesson. Never. You think that's going to change now?
Probably want to implement Letterbox technology into their app so that they can further make Netflix even more addicting than it already is. You can find your favorite Letterbox reviews on Netflix. You can add your own Letterbox reviews to Netflix. It'll keep you in their app, not on other apps like YouTube.
Ugh. I pay for Letterbox too, by the way. I do the little subscription thing. It's like one time for the year. Keeps away ads and stuff like that, and you can kind of, I don't do it, but you can customize art and stuff if you wanted to and whatnot. So I think it's a good thing. I don't want Netflix to have it. That sounds just awful and terrible. Please, no, thank you.
Here's 3 things that I think if you do, you should be banned from movie theaters permanently. Let's go ahead and get into it.
All right. Hey, listen, I am into banning people from movie theaters for bad behavior and whatnot. Let's see where it lies for this gentleman. I'm sure we'll have some overlap.
So at number 1, we have if you take a picture of the movie's title card, what are you doing?
Yep. Correct. This is a new trend, by the way. I'm to understand this is a new trend, is for people to end up taking a picture of the title card, which means that you've got your phone out, which means that you ain't paying attention. You are not in the movie. You are on your phone. I don't know, trying to farm some clout or something. I don't know what you get by those. Like, oh, look, that's the title of the movie, and I got a picture of it from the You're not paying attention to the movie, my friend. What's wrong with you? Straight to jail.
You should be banned. I know the person next to you is looking at you like you're stupid and you don't belong, and they're right. Your phone shouldn't be out at all. Just go watch the movie at home.
Correct.
Number 2, if you cannot make it through a 2.5-hour movie without getting up to go pee, just stay at home.
Correct. Listen, we've all been in some dire straits, you know? I'm not saying that it's an impossibility, but if you have to go to the restroom during a movie, brother, you better have to go. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be at that uncomfortable spot where you just go, oh Christ, I know there's gonna be another hour at least to this movie. I've got problems. I gots to go. That's fine. But if it's just like, I just can't make it through any movie without having to get up and go to the restroom, you need to go to a urologist. You need to go to a doctor, get yourself checked out. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, my friend. Come on. I made it through the Lord of the Rings extended editions, back to back. Each of those movies is over 3 hours long. And I only went to the bathroom in between each film. And they had free refills on drinks. Needless to say, I took advantage. But throughout all 3 of those films, I only went to the restroom before or after each film. Never during. Same thing goes with all 7 Star Wars films in a row. Not a bathroom break in any of those. In between, absolutely. But in the movies themselves, no. And that was 7 movies in a row. You can do it. You just don't want to, or you maybe have some bladder problems and need to go see a doctor, of which, if that's the case for you, you're not in this equation. I'm talking for normal, healthy people. Or you buy yourself some Depends. Undergarments, one of my favorite Blink 182 songs.
Don't even bother me because you're walking back and forth from me 3 times when I'm trying to watch Christopher Nolan's Best Picture.
We're not talking about the Odyssey, are we?
This is not the You Show. This is the Odyssey.
Oh, you're wrong about that. I mean, I don't even know. Early reactions are out. I'm not watching them. I'm not seeing who's doing what, but I will watch it. I will watch it either Thursday or Friday. And we'll talk about it. I'll be open. And if it's bad, I'll say bad. But if it's good, I will say good. You will get 100% pure Adam. You guys know that at this point. We're not hiding the ball over here. I don't want you to hear me cursing at the dog. I don't know why, but it just feels like cursing is just necessary, and I don't think it's necessary for them for you to have to hear me cursing at the dogs because it's not nice. It's just the only way that they understand things.
And lastly, number 3, if you have ever fallen asleep during a movie, don't ever step foot on an AMC campus at all. Just get off. You're banned. You're expelled. You're not suspended. You're expelled.
Can I tell you something? I think we need, if we want to make sure that this doesn't happen, we need seats that don't recline. Bring back non-reclining seats. I know that's going to be a very unpopular opinion out here. But as somebody who regulars a theater that does not have reclining seats, let me tell you something. You stay awake a lot better. You don't fall asleep if you're not reclined. You're far less likely to have that happen. So, if you want to make sure that you're not falling asleep in a theater, maybe don't go to a theater where you're practically, napping and they sell you a blanket. They'll sell you a blanket for $20.
I don't want you anywhere near there because you're not disrespecting the artists and the directors who put their hard work into a movie.
And I saw Blood Mall Cop too. There was no hard work put in that. Come on, brother.
But you're disrespecting me because I love the theater and I can't stand to see people sleeping like it's just their house.
Exactly. You need to be uncomfortable, at least a little bit. It needs to be a little bit chilly in there. You can't have it too warm. You need it a little bit chilly, and you need to be just so you can pay attention to what's going on here. Guys, can we just sit down? For the love of everything, please. Go lay on the bed. I don't care. Just do something that's not whatever it is you're doing.
The physical discers who are going to reach for every cherry-picked piece of data they can to prove that physical discs are the most important thing of all time. My flat earth theory is right.
So basically, people who prefer physical media are flat earthers.
Yeah, I always knew I was special. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I always knew I was a flat earther. But here's the thing. I understand the video games. I understand the video games not being on physical media anymore because the size of said video games is bigger than they can put on discs now. So you've outgrown the medium, and you can't be like, well, wait, what the hell? It is what it is, man. I'd like it all to be on a thing and you to keep it all the time and be able to play it all the time. That sounds fantastic. Is that realistic? No, not anymore. It isn't. But movies right now, movies are still fine. Movies are A-okay, Most 2-hour movies, even in 4K, will fit on a single 4K disc. But even then, like I've said previously, like the Lord of the Rings 4Ks, those are on separate discs. The Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair is going to be on 2 discs. So, they're keeping bit rates high, which is nice. But they're separating them out on 2 different discs and whatnot. So we're not quite there, but most movies aren't, 3 hours long. So they don't have to worry about that. They can fit on 1 disc like normal. So I don't see this being a problem for movies too much in the future. But for video games and stuff right now, you're getting 400 terabytes. They wish 300 or 400 gigabyte games and stuff like that. So they're not going to fit in a disc anymore. We got to get over it, kids.
Okay. I also want to preface this by saying that I don't hate the fact that there's digital options. There's a lot of games that I own digitally. I just hate that my physical option is being taken away from me. There is many of reasons why physical media is king, but let me give you a couple. The reason I put 007 First Light up there is because there are a few 007 titles that have been delisted, which means you cannot play them digitally ever unless you own the physical copy. Quantum of Solace is one of those titles, on top of like GoldenEye Reloaded and I think 007 Legends. That could happen to this game in the future. Everyone loves Spider-Man. Did you know you can't play these games anymore? The licensing rights expired and they did not renew them. So if you don't own the digital copies, well, oh well.
Wait a minute. What now? So I got that Spider-Man 2. I got that. I can still play that. What are you talking about?
And that can very well happen in the future of the Insomniac Spider-Man games or even the upcoming Wolverine game because maintaining an IP for Marvel is very expensive. Telltale's Guardian.
There's a difference between exclusivity and stuff like that. I think I don't think she knows exactly how these negotiations work from the sounds of it. And I'm not privy to a whole lot of stuff, but it's I don't think you know how that is. Hold on. I got to hey man, what the fuck? What's going on, bro? Come here. Just sit up here. You go sit over there. Go sit in the couch. Go over there. Go over there. Go over there. Do something other than just stand here, bud. Come on. You're killing me. Killing me over here.
Of the Galaxy. Unless you own a physical copy, that's it. It doesn't exist. The Telltale Game of Thrones game, this game was fucking awesome. But when Telltale went under in 2018, all the licensing rights ran out, so you can't play either of those.
Yeah, see, that sort of stuff is stupid, but you've also got to realize that that could be the case. It is what it is.
On top of the issue of games being delisted, there's also the dynamic pricing that PlayStation is trying out, where your games can just be more expensive just because. But also digital games tend to be more expensive, and a lot of times you have to wait for a sale. But physical games, you can find them on used game shops, eBay,
Tell this to Nintendo.
Marketplace, anything, and they're a lot cheaper. Plus, you can get resale value. For example, I could probably make at least $100 on these because they're so hard to find. There is ample reasons why physical.
So if they were not hard to find, then you wouldn't make any money on it. So point moot.
Media is much better. But hey, apparently if I like physical media, that means I'm a flat earther and I'm dumb as fuck.
Well, yeah. That goes without saying. All right. Dog crew's going back to the bedroom here. They're a little wound up. All right, come on. Holy crud. I love them to death, but not conducive to a show. All right, what's next? Holy moly.
Police Academy and Nightmare on Elm Street. Those franchises are almost exactly the same.
All right, let's hear them out.
You got part one, which might be the best. It's definitely the idea in its purest form.
Correct. Both are distilled versions of the things that they purport themselves to be. Nightmare on Elm Street, fantastic horror film, setting it all up and everything. Here's how the world works. Same thing goes, but with Police Academy, but it's all fun and games and hijinks with the Police Academy, as it were.
Then you get part two where they break the rule. Elm Street 2, Freddy leaves the dream world. Police Academy 2, they're not at the police academy. They're just at a precinct being cops. Part 3.
That's true. I guess you really don't think about that. It's like, well, that's not really what they're doing anymore now, is it? And then they're like, oh, well, let's change the title and change it up a little bit. And I think he's right here because Police Academy 3 does kind of jump back.
3, they go back to basics, back to the academy. Nancy comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Almost pretend like part 2 never happened. Both.
Part 2 of Police Academy, like a lot of gay undertones.
Part 3 is well received. Part 4, just kind of born out of part 3 again.
Yeah, and is not very good and quite forgettable.
Maybe to lesser success. Then part 5, it all goes off the rails. Everybody hates Dream Child. I don't know anybody that likes part 5.
Dream Child's bad. It's bad.
5. And Police Academy, it's the first one without Steve Guttenberg. So you're just like, whoa.
If you ain't got the goot, why don't you get on out?
What am I even watching? I need the goot. And then part 6, it's like, okay, this is the last one. We're done. Only to then reemerge in 1994. And then I feel a little ripped off.
Hey, man. Wes Craven's New Nightmare is better than Mission to Moscow, though. Let's not kid ourselves.
Off because we got Freddy versus Jason. We never got Police Academy versus Porky's, or at least like Police Academy versus Combat Academy.
Ooh.
Who had the audacity to use the exact same font. Or Recruits. You ever see Recruits? Imagine Police Academy, but lowbrow.
A lowbrow Police Academy.
And we got the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot, which I don't think anybody liked. I know there's always somebody who's going to defend something. It's just the nature of the internet. But we've never gotten a Police Academy reboot. We got the series. We got there was a show. I don't know if you know there was a show in the late '90s.
Really?
But then we never got a Freddy Krueger cartoon series, which would have been nice.
Yeah, but we did get a Police Academy cartoon series, and I watched that.
Of course, we did get a Freddy show. He wasn't really in it. Only a couple episodes. I mean, he hosted it, but come on. We never got a Freddy cartoon, which honestly is surprising. That had to have gotten pitched. Freddy Krueger, the animated series. I mean, they sold the glove in toy stores. They had toys. They both had toy series.
Come on down, kids, and dress up as your favorite child molester.
They both had comic books, for God's sakes. But bring them back. Bring them both back. We need these movies back.
I'll say this. I think the 21 Jump Street movies did as good a job as you could with the kind of Police Academy kind of comedy-esque sort of thing, if that makes sense. I always wanted a Police Academy meets RoboCop. See, now that's something I can get behind. Police Academy 4 is most often considered the best in the series. What are you on? I really enjoyed the Police Academy live action show. I never saw unfamiliar.
Hey man, you know the freakiest damn movie ever made?
I stopped it right here, and I'm like, I do not. But I'm willing to see what we got.
What? Mad God.
You know what? I tried to watch Mad God. Can I tell you this? I tried to watch Mad God on the Shutter there and everything. And I got to admit to you, boys and girls, it looked like garbage. The bit rate was all low. It looked terrible. And like, this is a very dark movie that I think I need to get on physical media, because it just needs to have a nice consistent bit rate here, and hopefully in 4K where I can get some nice high dynamic range and stuff, so I can enjoy, what looks to be a very contrasty movie. But Homeboy almost went mad doing this. Speaking of Mad God.
What's that? It is a visceral, phantasmagoric nightmare from the brilliant mind of special effects legend Phil Tippett. And who's he? Oh, he's the mastermind behind the stop-motion effects.
He's the Tauntaun Man.
In the original Star Wars trilogy and RoboCop, and he designed all the aliens for Starship Troopers. So what's Mad God? So, in 1990, while he was working on RoboCop 2, Phil Tippett had the impulse to go create his own project. Thus began a cavalcade of beasts, freaks, and nightmares, which Phil would work on intermittently over the next 30 years. And the end result was Mad God. What's it about? I have seen it 5 times and I have no fucking idea. The pains of creation, the horrific inevitability of destruction.
I really wish I could have seen this movie, but like I said, the quality was so shit that I was just like, I refuse. I refuse to do it, and maybe when I see it on sale somewhere, I'll pick this up on physical media. Does it have a 4K? It's got to have a Blu-ray for sure.
Or is it just an excuse to show an army of shit critters working in a vast, burning underground factory while being whipped and tormented by giant monster chickens that are made out of boobs and tumors? That's all in the movie. That's just one scene. Could you repeat some of that? No, I can't slow down. Join the assassin. A mysterious masked figure as he descends through a world of festering pustules and quivering mutations. Could we at least use less colorful vocabulary? No. And everything I've just described is only in like the first third of it. You never know what's going to happen next in Mad God other than it will be horrible and wet. But you will never see a more pure example of raw, unfiltered imagination. It's streaming on Shudder, or you can just get this Steelbook Blu-ray, or since we're in America in 2026, to get a similar feeling, you can just look outside. That's fair. Mad God.
Yeah, I need to get that on physical media. It's one that's been kind of like hitting around in the old brain, going like, I still need to see that. I saw Mad God in the theater. Ooh, that'd have been cool. That I would have gone to see.
I do think it helps too that, again, I just don't think horror gets as intense as other fandoms do. Like, there's
Disagree with that. We got a lot of nerds out here. It's just a different level of nerd, and that's the thing. Horror nerds, as much as they like to try to think that they're cool kids or something like that, sometimes y'all just nerds too. You're just a different flavor of nerd. You're a different nerd on the nerd wheel. You just spin it and you're bound to hit one of these nerds, and there's a slice of that nerd pie, no doubt.
discourse, and there's discourse that gets annoying and discourse that frustrates me and that I disagree with, and that I'm like, I need to log off because people are just either wrong in my eyes or being unreasonable about something,
equal in my high.
But it's not like you use long legs as an example.
I hate long legs. I don't know where do we yeah, we talked about that on a Dinger Zone just recently. I hate that movie. Stinks.
really like long legs. I don't feel by saying I like long legs that people are going to, I don't know, dox me or something.
5, 6, 7.
You know what I mean? Compared to saying I like certain other movies where people will have your head for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, there is something weird about people that will just kind of, if you don't agree with their movie takes and stuff, they go absolutely ballistic. It's just like some people aren't going to like the same stuff. It's cool.
But I think that helps too. Like, this specific fandom space doesn't ever get that extreme, even if there are certain fan bases within horror that are more intense than others. I think we're thinking of the same one.
Scream.
Yeah, Scream fans are a little intense.
What? If you're an intense Scream fan, you probably weren't watching the original Screams and stuff when they were coming out. I'll tell you that much. That was fun.
Top 5 underdog movies.
When somebody asks me for movie suggestions, and my knowledge runs deep, so I end up sounding like this.
Go. Oh, I'm actually here for... Let's begin with the obvious. Rocky. Most people assume it's number 1, and I think it's best just to get it out of the way. It's probably your number 1. Am I right? Never mind. Number 4 just came out last year. It's already an instant classic. You know where I'm going, right? Come on, basketball, man. Dennis Hopper in the same year as Blue Velvet, breaking our hearts both on and off the court. Say it with me on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hoosiers.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. He's so over the top in Hoosiers. As he's over the top in Blue Velvet. This is like, it's over the top Hopper era, man. What are you going to do?
I haven't seen it. And you call yourself a basketball fan?
That's true. If you're, I mean, especially if you're a basketball fan, you should have seen Hoosiers and Hoop Dreams and all that kind of crap.
No, I'm just here for some movies. And I'm giving them to you, Slim. That's my job. Number 3. Let's have it. The Dirty Dozen. I've seen.
Hell yeah.
Seen that. Underdogs on a suicide mission to kill Nazis. Works on multiple levels. Right. Number 2.
It works on multiple levels. Lee Marvin works on multiple levels, okay?
Sidney Lumet directed this courtroom drama from a perfect script by David Mamet, starring Paul Newman and his incomparable ambulance chasing best. The Verdict. I heard that was good. No, you didn't.
No,
what you
No, you didn't.
probably heard is that it is amazing. So why haven't you seen it yet? Are you even ready for number 1? You have no idea. In his review of this 1979 film, Roger Ebert wrote, quote, "Movies like this hardly ever get made. When they're made this well, they become precious cinematic miracles," unquote. Name that picture.
Oh. That is tough, man. It's pretty vague. It's pretty vague. Oh, motherfucker, and it cut the go. Oh, what a ripoff. I told you, I don't watch these things ahead of time, so I never know what how they end. That's what I thought Apocalypse Now as well. That was my initial guess. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm like, maybe it's a little bit earlier than 79. Yeah, that had to have been it. Yeah, because it was a movie that was, famously tough to produce and get. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a big old giant favor and watch Hearts of Darkness, directed by his wife, about the making of Apocalypse Now. You will see Francis Ford Coppola go from super fat to super skinny. It's really kind of weird.
Hey man, so I'm out here at the One Wish Willow testing facility. Because believe it or not, getting these things to work the right way is taking a lot of trial and error. Because like, first of all, we got to find the right kind of willow, which is no easy task. Because it needs to be a specific kind of willow, and it's got to be blessed by the right pixie queen. Got
to be a wishing willow, not one of those pussy willows.
There's one who did it right, but there was also like an insane evil pixie queen, and if you get a branch from her tree, it's not good. It's like a wishmaster scenario. We're really trying to avoid evil genie results on these things. Because even 2 of those things get out and somebody puts that review on Instagram, we're boned. Nobody wants to buy a magic wishing stick that screws you over on purpose. So
Well, listen, man, and that's a contention that I'm having with some people is that, talking about how the One Wish Willow it's a monkey's paw thing. Whatever is like, because we got a lot of people, just saying, we'll get into it, I'm sure. But a lot of people talking about how like this person's a villain, like a bear's a villain and blah, blah, blah. And like everyone keeps talking about this movie like it's heroes and villains. And like we're talking about comic book movies and stuff. And it's just like, this is a different kind of movie. You guys, it seems like we have really dumbed down the cinematic vocabulary of a lot of folks to where it is just like, hey, he a villain. He a villain. Ugh.
And it requires a certain level of cultivation, but we're getting there. And like some of the ones we've tested, they do grant wishes, but just like barely. Like we had our test subject, Steve, break it and wish for like a diamond the size of a tangerine, and it just gave him a cubic zirconium necklace from QVC. Then we had a guy wish for like the tastiest sandwich that had ever been made, and it just gave him a cubic zirconium necklace from QVC. We eventually did get a call from QVC because they were like, look man, our cheap jewelry inventory is just shooting through the floor, and we feel like we know it's you guys. And I couldn't lie. And like, I'd wish for the ability to be a little more sly when these people call me, but we've learned that wishes for personality modification don't tend to go really well. For some reason, all the sticks interpret that as you want a demon. Like you wish to be better at writing, you get some kind of Shakespeare demon. And
that would be, yeah. I mean, we're coming up with different One Wish Willow movies and stuff like that. So, we'll see.
You wish to be better at, I don't know, basketball, and you get a Michael Jordan demon. But anyway, I think we still got at least like 6 months before we can take these things to market, but I'm optimistic. Oh man, I hope nobody wished I would be more optimistic.
It was Breaking Away, the movie about the kid who wants to join the Tour de France. De Francais! Oh, let me tell you. My ex-wife was fluent in French, and I couldn't pronounce a French word around her to save my life because God knows you'd get like corrected every. It's like, and just laughed at him like, I don't fucking speak this language. Why am I getting made fun of? It's just like you studied it. I didn't. What's the big deal?
How this movie is not in the conversation with Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Breakfast Club, I will never understand.
I don't know. I don't particularly care for either of those movies, so let's see what he's got. Maybe I might like this movie a little bit more. Maybe I haven't seen it. Who's to say? I don't watch these things.
It has everything. A villain who steals a girlfriend, and in this case, he's not into diving or karate. No, they're
It's Hot Dog the Movie, everybody.
All into skiing. Then you have a protagonist who constantly tries to end it all. Along with duck-human romances, this is what passed for entertainment in the 1980s. And then you have a paperboy who constantly wants his $2. This is one of my hills. Better Off Dead is the most underrated movie of the 1980s.
It's one of them. Yeah. I would say Better Off Dead is actually is a little underrated. I think I would agree with that. It doesn't get talked about enough. I think that's true. Very, very much. Yeah. Both Breaking Away and Hoosiers are based on true Indiana stories. Listen. It's all you guys have. Let's be honest. Hey, we got Michael Jackson. That's Indiana. Oh.
If you are a fan of The Wizard of Oz, the movie Airplane, or just completely psychotic fever dreams, boy, do I have the movie for you.
All right. Yeah. Well, let's see what you got.
Gil Daughtry and the Celebrity Sex Pass came out this weekend. I saw it. I liked it. I did not love it. Let's talk about it. This is a true slapstick comedy about a woman played by Zoe Deutch who catches her fiance in the middle of an act with his celebrity hall pass. So, as one does, she decides the only way to fix her relationship is to make things even by going to Los Angeles to hunt down her celebrity hall pass, who's
Everybody's a hoe story. This is great.
John Hamm. And on this journey, she brings her loyal best friend, Otto, otherwise known as Toto, and meets 3 strangers who she picks up along the way on her journey.
Who else wants to die? At the description of this, who wants to die? Raise your hands. Bueller, raise your hands. Who wants to die hearing the plot of this movie? Good Lord.
Tin Man Scarecrow and the Cowardly Lion. And in the end, John Hamm greets her in a hot air balloon in Kansas with a rainbow in the background.
This sounds absolutely terrible.
This movie is ridiculous. It's outrageous. It's over the top. It is literally laugh out loud funny. I don't remember the last time I laughed out loud at the theater so much. But honestly, I needed this movie to lean into the slapstick humor even harder.
I wanted more pies to the face.
We were a little ways into the film until I realized what type of humor this film was leaning into. It's really uncomfortable and cringy to watch, but that's also the point.
Oh, good. No. It's bad on purpose. Oh, super.
I'm not really seeing anybody talk about this movie online. I'm not sure if they're just not aware of it or if they're not interested in seeing it. It does make me question whether or not the idea of a celebrity hall pass is even interesting to people anymore. I think nowadays with social media, celebrities feel so much more attainable that the idea of a hall pass, I don't know.
Go watch the movie Hall Pass. It's better than that. I don't know what she's talking about, but the movie Hall Pass isn't great, but it's better than that.
Is that something that's interesting to you? I genuinely would like to know.
Owen Wilson's in that movie?
The cast is great. Of course, we have John Hamm playing himself. He is
Christ almighty. I thought the video was over. What are we on the second leg now?
amazing, funny. We also have John Slattery in this film playing himself, a very over-the-top caricature version of himself, which I actually love. And Zoe Deutch is so good. It is a Zoe Deutch summer, as it should be. I love seeing her shine, and I love seeing all the
Nepo babies, we make a dream come true. Nepo babies, we'll do the same for you.
projects that she's been in. She was good in this role. I just wish they pushed this even further. If you saw Gail Daughtry in the Celebrity Sex Pass, let me know what you thought in the comments. And as always, I will see you after the next movie.
I'm going to give that a big sex pass. Get it? Adios, mofo. I had my first watch of Better Off Dead just a couple of months ago. And Better Off Dead top 5 comedy of all time. See, yeah, it's a big one, man. People like it.
This film absolutely does live up to the hype, and I think it's very important to understand why.
All right, let's see Jason's take on this. I've seen a lot of people's take. It's golly bum. All right, let's go.
If you didn't know, the horror film Obsession came out of nowhere and set the world on fire. It had a budget of under $1 million and has made that back like 500 times over. It was made by a couple of YouTubers, but it is not a gimmicky meme movie. It is an expertly crafted horror film, and it demonstrates what a lot of people get wrong about this genre and about modern audiences. And it does this in at least 4 different ways. Number 1, the premise is not new or original.
I keep trying to tell people that. That's one of the things is like there's so many people that are going, oh, this is fresh and new. It's like, I mean, it feels new, but like it's not the newest thing in the world. This idea is not the wildest of ones. And so that's what kind of makes me happy, though, is that like they're not seeing it everywhere, ahead of time. They maybe because it's, they're kind of new moviegoers and stuff and haven't seen this sort of thing before, I guess. I don't know.
There is no unique hook here. It involves a guy making a wish on a cursed artifact, and of course the wish comes true in the most cursed way possible. Not only is that premise not new, it is ancient. It predates the written word.
And exactly, this is literally the episode of The Simpsons that he saw before his episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia premiered on FX. He saw this monkey paw episode and said, oh, that's my kind of, into the idea of this obsession film. He had more or less the idea, but not necessarily the catalyst to get things going. And so this monkey paw episode inspired the idea of the One Wish Willow. Ergo, this is a monkey paw story. Ergo, whatever wish you make on this thing will go bad. That's the point. The whole idea of this whole thing, of the One Wish Willow, is literally the phrase, be careful what you wish for. And be careful what you wish for really means don't be wishing for shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Don't wish for things that especially in haste. And that's where his wish comes in. It comes in at haste. He didn't think about it. But when you have that ability to do that sort of thing, that's where stuff lies for you. You'll go and make those brash decisions. And they can come back to haunt you and hurt you. And then you can, still pacify that stuff and have those cursed things go on for even longer because you're unwilling to admit that you were wrong or maybe that, something isn't quite right.
As always, it is the execution that matters. That leads us into number 2, which is that the first spooky thing in this horror film does not occur until 45 minutes in. I have heard lots of people say, well, the film was a slow burn, it takes its time. But this is standard in well-told horror. The last time we had a surprise runaway horror blockbuster with Sinners, the vampires don't show up in that film until an hour in.
And you know what really pisses me off is I made it like almost one day before that movie came out, before that shit was spoiled. I had no idea. I had no idea that we're vampires. And then like one day before I heard somebody say it and I was like, fuck, that would have been really, really cool to gone into that movie having not known a single thing about vampires and having the vampire twist. I was fucking ripped. Not gonna lie. Just mad. Just mad that somebody ruined that. God, it would have been so cool. I might have and I like the movie well enough. I would have really liked the movie had I not known that fact. Piss me off, man. Can you tell?
Well-told horror can do this even if it's aimed at the TikTok generation. So many horror films, particularly haunted house stuff, act like they have to make everything spooky from the first frame. Like the characters all know they're living in a horror movie. Obsession doesn't give you anything like that. For the first 45 minutes, you are just watching these guys' relationship drama. And you get wrapped up in it because the performances are fantastic, but
and it's well written. That's the big thing is that, and when you look at their sketches and stuff like that on their YouTube channel, I strongly suggest you do really funny stuff. That again, like Key and Peele, looks really good. Like for comedy stuff, it's like comedy is not usually shot this well. They shoot stuff amazingly well, so it's not a surprise that they made this movie look this good for this amount of money. But watch their stuff, man. These guys have a real gift with dialogue and keeping you engaged with stuff. Their short form content, like really kind of like kicks and is banging in there real fast and just keeps you watching. And the dialogue in this movie does the exact same thing.
Also, there are still stakes. They're just not life and death. It is very easy to identify
stakes
with these characters, to understand what they want. And what so many people don't get is that the only reason that stuff that happens later is scary is because of that setup. Which brings us to number 3, which is that the horror does not come from understanding or knowing the whole mythology or the logic behind why what is happening is happening.
Thank God. Thank God. We don't need that. We don't need to explore things. We don't need to go like, well, this is y'all got to stop trying to get the answers to everything. You need to start letting things be. You need to start letting the mystery of something be out there, Take joy in not knowing the answer to everything. It's kind of more fun that way sometimes.
Because the film doesn't explain it. The plot, and this is in the trailer, is that there's this guy who's in love with one of his coworkers, but she sees...
By the way, I didn't see the trailer at all. I didn't watch this trailer. I knew the name was Obsession. I saw like a promo sticker on the movie theater window that was just like a bunch of hearts, like a bunch of Post-it notes in the shape of a heart that said Obsession. That's it. That's all I knew about the movie going in. So I didn't even see the trailer.
Him as a friend. So he gets this cheap little Make-A-Wish trinket from a gift shop. And he kind of just jokingly uses it like, I wish Nikki would love me more than anyone in the world. Like he has no reason to think this is going to work, and it's never explained why it works. Like the film basically makes a joke of it. He goes back to the gift shop where he got the thing, and it's not like a magical haunted gift shop. The guy at the counter is still selling them, and he's like...
Yeah, it looks like it looks like that nature store at the mall, the one that I'm talking about, that always has hippie chicks in there buying dream catchers and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they grant wishes. That's what it says on the box. Why did you buy it if you didn't want to grant a wish? And there's a phone number on the box from the manufacturer, and he calls it, and it's just this guy. And he's just like, yeah, it grants wishes. I don't know what to tell you.
And the fun part is he'll probably tell you this, but the guy on the phone is the director.
I was calling to see if there's a way I can cancel a wish.
I'm sorry, we don't really do that.
He doesn't look up an expert or talk to other people who have been victimized by these things. We never get a logical explanation for how such a thing can exist. None of that is necessary. It's scarier because it doesn't make sense. And if this becomes a franchise with a bunch of sequels and they do wind up diving into the mythology of how this thing works, that will serve to diminish the original.
Agreed. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
And number 4, there is no hero in this story.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And if there's no hero, guess what, boys and girls? There's no villain. Fuck you.
The people who dislike this film, by far the most common criticism I've heard, is that they hate the protagonist, Bear. They say the actions he takes don't make any sense. But they make perfect sense for his character.
Jason is on point, ladies and gentlemen.
He is a weak, cowardly, selfish person. The true horror of this film, the true genius of this plot, is the slow realization that this guy is not a hero. He has no heroism in him. And it can break all of these rules because
he's not the hero. He's not the villain. He's just a character in the story, ladies and gentlemen.
Everything about it is so expertly crafted. Again, this is a low-budget film. You would not know from looking at it. And the performances from the leads are fantastic, like on a level that is rare in horror. Anyway, the film just came out on streaming. I think it's coming to Peacock for free very soon. This is not an ad. I just give it my highest recommendation.
Yeah, it just came out on physical today. It just came out on 4K. I'll be waiting until it goes on sale because it's kind of a bare bones, nothing sort of thing. And then I want to drop, I think it's like at $26 or something right now on Amazon. I'm like, let's get this down to under 20 and we'll start talking. We'll start talking then. Or if it had like a cool steelbook or something like that, if it had something to get me to get it, that'd be something. But like with a regular thing and it's just a slipcase, that's under $20, friendo.
Here are movies I prescribe to my clients as a licensed clinical psychologist.
I was just like, I was curious about this. I paused it. I'm like, what are these people's problems? What are you giving them as far as prescriptions with movies go? Let's see what he's got.
Like, if you agree with my recommendations. When a client is going through a hard time, I prescribe the following films. Number 1, The Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Well, I kind of already know what your clientele is at this point, but okay, go on. And I love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm the biggest fan over here.
Extended edition. Number 2, Star Wars, the original trilogy.
I think he has a practice that has a male focus. That's just a guess.
Number 3, The Lord of the Rings trilogy, extended edition. Number 4, My Neighbor Totoro.
Please have the next one be The Lord of the Rings.
Number 5, The Lord of the Rings trilogy, extended edition. Number 6, Paddington 1 and 2.
Yes, the answer is yes to all of this shit, by the way. Yes to all of it. He is correct.
Number 7, The Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yes. Correct. You know, I was a little worried at the first half, but he got me in the second. You know, by the third time that we recommended Lord of the Rings trilogy extended editions, I was on board with whatever the man had to say. And let's be honest, he is an actual clinical doctor, so you have to abide by the things that he says. So, you know, that's on you people.
For the last 100 years, the soundstage business has looked pretty much the same. You build a big empty box, you rent it to a studio for a TV series or a movie shoot, and then repeat. But viewer habits are changing, which means production is changing too. So how do soundstage owners adapt, not just to survive, but thrive in the next chapter of production? I'm Jason Fisher, the founder of Stage Runner, and today it's all about how the soundstage industry can take advantage of new formats, new technologies, and new customers in a world where more content is being produced than ever.
Yeah, and again, it's like, Hollywood always focusing on the wrong damn thing. Wouldn't you know? It's called, we don't care how you shoot it. We don't care what you do with it. Make it good. Make it good. That's your problem, is you're not making it good. It sucks. Make it better.
Competition is fierce, and tenants, they've got different needs than they used to. The modern soundstage needs to become a full-service creative campus with technology at the center. And the good news is that creates new revenue opportunities. New productions rely on technology earlier than ever, not just in post, but from the jump. AI-assisted storyboarding, previs, Unreal Engine set design, these are all becoming part of the creative process before the team ever steps onto the stage.
And none of that will help them tell a good story. That's part of the problem, because you can pour all the special effects in the world that you want into anything and all the great things to keep your budget down. But if your story is dog dick bad, no one cares. That's your problem, Hollywood. Start writing things that people give a damn about. You're not doing that.
And if your facility can provide these tools and talent, well, you're not just renting space anymore. You can charge for those services too. Take B Electric Studios in Brooklyn. They invested early in virtual production, but they didn't just stop at building an LED volume. They built deep expertise in virtual production, Unreal Engine, and emerging AI workflows. They were part of the AI on the Lot conference in LA. They hosted a panel at AICP on environment creation, and now they've got a partnership with the new platform Luma. So they're now helping to pioneer hybrid production workflows that connect AI content with physical filmmaking. The goal isn't to replace filmmakers, it's to eliminate friction. And by accelerating the time-consuming parts of production, filmmakers can spend more.
Yeah, it's like, 50% less, we can do this, more shooting, less wasting, blah, 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 blah. Again, if you got nothing to show for it, what does it matter? If people don't care about your product at the end of the day, who gives a shit how quick you got it done?
Time doing what only people can do, telling great stories. And because those
great stories
capabilities are becoming part of the production process itself, B Electric isn't just renting stages anymore. They're delivering
dreams,
technology, expertise, and creative services that are generating new revenue opportunities. Take Sunset Studios in Hollywood.
Always what you want to hear is that we're creating revenue opportunities, not that we're creating great art, that we're creating revenue opportunities.
Hollywood. They've been testing a microdrama space. They built out a stage.
Oh, fuck me. More microdrama nonsense. Stop it. Micro dramas are never going to happen in the States. You are just literally flushing money down the toilet. I beg of you, Hollywood, stop with this bullcrap, vertical dramas, vertical shorts and shit. You don't know what you're doing. Just stop it. It's embarrassing.
With pre-lit, pre-dressed standing sets just as the format is taking off. And then there's
so everything will look the same. It'll be great.
East End Studios leaning into live events, DJ performances, brand activations, and product launches. And finally, we've got Lighthouse Studios in Venice and Brooklyn. They offer another version of where this is headed. Part film studio, part co-working space for creators.
Oh my God. A jack-off space if there ever was one. Sit around with your friend. You ever been to a WeWork? Oh my God. You just want to jump off a building.
They've got podcast studios, larger shoot spaces, turnkey equipment, and support.
It is just it's white people mecca. I'm going to be honest with you.
The next generation of studios aren't going to be defined by the size of their stages. They'll be defined by the intelligence of their workflow.
No, thank you. Ugh. All right. Give me a second here. The room is getting a little hot. I'm getting heated. Turn the AC on here. Hold on. Woo! Whew! A little toasty in this, man. All right.
If you ever have time, go watch Tyrese's The Django audition.
I have never heard of this. I've never heard of this before, but I saw this and I was like, brother, I have got to see this. I think Tyrese has a humiliation fetish. I do. I think he does. He does a lot of things to embarrass himself that are just like so over the top. You would only have to assume that he got off on people, clowning him. When Dr. Dre sold Beats to Apple, Dr. Dre got $1 billion for that. $1 billion. So, Dr. Dre became a billionaire. Tyrese was at his house while this was happening. And you would have thought Tyrese was getting $1 billion the way he acted. Dr. Dre wasn't as happy as Tyrese was. It was just clownitude of all clownitude. And then, of course, his relationship with the Fast and the Furious movies. All they do in that movie is take dumps on Tyrese's character. All they do is make fun of him. They practically say he's illiterate and he's stupid. Like, I'm telling you, they don't have like one redeeming character bit about this guy. And he is consistently begging to be in these movies. I'm telling you, I think the man has a humiliation fetish.
Bro really took a camera to like a dark cave and was like almost naked, right? And he had somebody flash a light on him with a camera and he yelled, "Ah! Ah!"
You're going to show it.
No! This is the funniest shit you ever gonna watch.
It's just, no what? Well, what's happening? You showed a light on me.
It never gets old. It's like a Boondocks episode. It never gets old, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah. What he say?
He said, ah! Now that you've seen the movie The Django, bro, what the fuck part was that?
Bro.
That's how kids wake up when they get ready to go to school.
What
Jay-
part was that?
Like,
He tried to pull himself a what you call it? Do a little Yogi Bear action, you know? It's like, hey, if I film myself with a bear, surely they'll let me be in this movie. And it worked for TJ Miller, so why wouldn't it work for Tyrese, right?
Does that scene fit in that movie at all?
That shit remind me of Roots.
Yeah.
Yo, but I'm asking you, why you said when I'm at the lowest point of my life.
It always brings me up. It always brings me up too. That always makes me laugh. It always makes, because I always go, it's not that bad. Whenever I'm going,
I could be doing worse. I could be Tyrese trying to audition for Django Unchained.
ain't that bad. It's not that. Yo, I'm doing all right.
Yo, too much, bro.
It took the time, and you know that was probably take 3. That's not even take 1.
Yeah.
You know he did that about 8 times.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, they saw that part. They said he is not fit the role.
Yeah, that was the best take. That's when you have to look at some movies and stuff where you see people that are acting so horribly bad. You have to like take a step back and go, that was the best one. That was the best take. Imagine what they cut.
He's not a bad motherfucker. This is a slave who got caught. Wrong movie.
Shout out to JB Fox. She was supposed to be there, man.
I
I
did.
couldn't imagine Tyrese.
Amen to that, man. Could you imagine Tyrese, or could you also imagine, and apparently this one was very much on the table, Will Smith being Django? Yeah, that was almost a thing. Will Smith turned it down. Will Smith was like, I don't think that's going to be me.
Sorry, that was a different movie.
Yeah. They probably
Horse, nigga.
They were like,
Like, why you screaming on the horse for free, nigga?
Not so fast.
I got more important things to do than y'all.
Oh my gosh, I need to search this video out for real, like the whole thing. I wonder how long it is in total.
Nigga, when I say stop, you plant roots. What's wrong, Steven? You don't like that? Now that's my kind of bell ringing. Get up! Motherfucker.
He doesn't even have a scene partner? He's just doing it to himself? Oh, Lord.
I've known me house niggers like you my whole life.
What voice is this? What is this voice?
Give every nigga on this plantation a demonstration of me beating the black off your ass.
Please! Please! No!
Oh, they got the music? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Man. Unbelievable. Will Smith turned down Django Unchained. I bet that was a slap in the face to Tarantino. I think it was. I think it really was. It was just like he was like offering it to him and everything, and he's just like, I don't see me in this role, and it's just like, are you kidding me? It's one of those, like, it would have been interesting, but I don't think he would have been the right guy for that. I think we did a fantastic job with Jamie Foxx. But it does make you wonder about some of the alternate kind of things, like the role that what's his face has there in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Trying to remember what's his Bruce Dern. Bruce Dern, his role was originally going to be Burt Reynolds, but Burt Reynolds died, so like that was a replacement thing. And there was another Tarantino one. Oh yeah, right. The Bear Jew, who ended up being played by Eli Roth, was originally supposed to be Adam Sandler, which would have been amazing And somebody that like, cause that was the one thing that they talked about Sandler in there for a hot minute, but Sandler, some kind of, I think it was a scheduling thing or something like that. And Tyrese is just like, I looked sad. I looked like somebody had been beating me and stuff. Hire me, please hire me.
Why do we have so many movies about scary moms? Like,
mom is scary, you know. Well, here's the thing. I'll say this. I think a lot of it is like mother is supposed to be, the person that's caring for you. And like, it's the person that brought you into this world of all the people in the world. That should be the person that you trust the most, was the person that, gave birth to you and everything. So the idea then that mom, this person who is innately supposed to be your protector, is now your adversary. That's a scary thought.
think about Carrie's relationship with her mother, or how Norman Bates literally wants to be his mom. Or like how Jason is an extension of his mother's rage, or how Leatherface operates like a maternal figure to his twisted family. That's why he's wearing an old woman's face with makeup at the end of the first film. Or think about how the AI system on board the ship in Alien is literally called Mother, but instead of being nurturing to the human,
tell your children not to walk my way,
she's preserving the alien as if it's her own baby. And most recently in Barbarian, the creature is called the Mother. These movies are using experiences that are typically associated with women, femininity, and motherhood, and then weaponizing them. And this is also why American cinema changed the mythology of the werewolf, that he only transforms one time out of the month whenever there's a full moon. Similar to how menstruation plays a major role in Carrie's transformation. And film scholars like Barbara Creed and Carol Clover had pointed out that depending on which movie you're talking about, they are either inadvertently or purposely portraying the nature of being a woman as monstrous.
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Other film scholars have proposed that this stems from an inherent jealousy that women's bodies can do something that men's can't. And that's,
well, yeah, like, listen, man, it's kind of like the miracle, right? They have the ability to create life. We only assist in it,
That's exactly what Peter Whalen in Alien Covenant represents. Because he's a guy that wants to be just like the xenomorph, something that's capable of bypassing the necessity of needing a mate in order to reproduce. That's why he hates his daughter, because she's a physical reminder of what he's lacking.
Gay?
And so he goes as far as making a child of his own, and because David is made in his image, he shares that same desire. And that's
I just like those movies. I just couldn't get into them as much as I like them. Ridley Scott and everything, and as much as I want the alien stuff, I don't find myself, ready to go back to it,
That's why he calls the aliens he creates his children. And at the end of the movie, labels himself a mother. But what's fascinating about all of this is this...
when the man plays the flute with himself, I'm just like, all right, I'm out of this.
Trend in horror was literally birthed by a woman. Mary Shelley wrote the book Frankenstein, and many women scholars have exclaimed that this is a commentary on the necessity of motherhood. Because it's about a man that bypasses the integral experience of carrying his creation for 9 months. So because he...
I don't know. Does she really come up with all of that, with that deep lore and everything at, like, what was Mary Shelley, 16 or something like that when she wrote that book? Listen, I'm not saying that she didn't write the book, or I just, maybe sometimes a story is a story, dig.
He has no connection to it, he neglects it after bringing it to life. He wants the power to create, but not the responsibility to nurture like we ordinarily see accompany motherhood. It's also interesting to think about how in the novel, the creature asks him to make him a woman, and Victor refuses specifically after thinking about the idea of her bearing kids. Because clearly Mary Shelley's novel isn't saying that women are monsters, but rather highlighting how men such as Victor see their reproductive power as being a monstrous thing. And then ironically, due to the popularity of those 1930 films, we get a whole wave of movies written and directed by men that pretty much prove her point. Except Alien. That's the only movie that isn't really doing that, because the xenomorph's head symbolizes, well, if you know, you know.
A wiener.
Anyway, this is an incredibly complex topic, as you can see, that will require me to make an hour-long video on in order to unpack everything. I guess, let me know in the comments down below if that's something you want. Okay, bye.
Again, I think there's a certain thing about certain generations that will ant-fuck something into absolute oblivion. And I like the analyzation of things, but sometimes, oh boy.
I cannot believe you're all going to make me start defending Christopher Nolan. But can we please stop pretending that your issue with the Odyssey is that it's not matching up with the source material?
I mean, my opinion can be whatever the fuck I'd like it to be. Thank you very much. And I'll beg you to keep your nose out of my personal affairs.
You're not slick. We're not confused. I know for a fact you did not read the source material.
You're right. You're right. You know what? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Here's the best part. I'm your worst nightmare. Somebody who didn't see or read any other shit, and I don't care. I'm the worst. I am the worst person about this, but I'm still willing to actually talk about some stuff. Let's go.
So why do you care? Do not come on here making comments and stuff about, oh, it's not matching up with the source material when you haven't read it. You don't.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I mean, like, I don't have to have read, Pride and Prejudice to know what it's about, right?
You don't know the source material. Stop complaining about it. You don't know. Or a quick little Google.
But Friendo, come on.
Search that gave you an AI result is not reading it. You have no idea.
I've read a book and you haven't read a book. Ergo, they can do whatever they want. I'm sorry, is that the excuse that we're using here? You haven't read it so they can fuck around with it as they please? How is that your defense?
None. That's all before we take into account that no one who's commenting on this has actually seen the movie. We can't comment on how accurate to the source.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, he is correct on that one. And I am willing to wait and hold my reserve, my judgment until I see the movie. I don't have high expectations for it, but I am willing to stand here and say, if it's a good movie, I will tell you as such. I want it to be a good movie. I don't want to waste nearly 3 hours of my life watching this movie. I don't want to waste it. I want it to be a good experience. Please, God, let it be a good experience. I just don't know that that's going to necessarily be the case. But I'd like it to be. But I would like it to be. But I can criticize things if I want to. Why not? Why not?
Material it is because we haven't seen it yet, and that's before even talking about that it's a just fictional story. So what?
Right, but so once I get to see it, though, do I get to say whatever I want? Because that's what's going to happen. I can have prejudgments about it, but once I've seen it, that's the best part for me. Is that means I got free reign. I can talk about it. It can become a thing that I can speak on with an educated mindset, you know?
Doesn't matter. This would be like me complaining about the Hunger Games when I've not read the books and I have not seen a single second of the movies.
Well, why not? Complain about shit. Why not? Why not? If it sucks, complain about it. Why not? If it stinks, complain about it. You don't have to know everything about everything. If you don't like it, say something. Now, if we don't think that, your criticism is valid, we'll let you know. That's it.
At the end of the day, we all know you don't care about the accuracy to the source material.
I don't care about the source to a degree. To a degree, I do. To a degree, I do. And why not? And why can't I? Why not?
We know you don't care. We know you've never read the source material, and
but again, what the fuck is there an echo in here? This is when you know that they've lost the plot when they continue to repeat the thing that they just said.
If you have, it's only because you want to make a point about this. Now,
you know what the point is too. Why aren't you addressing the point? Why are you instead just going, you don't know because you ain't read it. You haven't read the book, so you don't know.
The movie comes out, it's
guess what? The lead actress that we're all talking about here, she ain't read it neither. And she's a Yaley. And she didn't read it, so whatever.
And actually has changed so much from the source material, maybe we can have a conversation around it. But the unfortunate reality is that the majority of people who are complaining about the accuracy to the source.
Why are you doing this? Can you just attach it to your motherfucking shirt? You see how I'm moving things all around, but yet my voice is still saying the same? That's because the mic is in front of my face, dummy.
Material, have never read the source material, and of course, absolutely have not seen the movie yet. So can we just wait to see this movie to make any actual judgments? Can we please just wait? Can we just wait?
No, we can make prejudgments though. Why not? Why not? Why, I mean, you look at something, if you look at a preview and the preview looks like ass, who are you to say it doesn't look like that? You can't say it looks like ass. Why not?
Why is that so hard? Can we wait, please? And for those of you not waiting and are using the source material as a way to judge the movie, we know what you're doing.
What are we doing? See, he's too cowardly to even say it. That's the problem. That's the problem. He's too coward. Come on. Hey, listen, I can't wait to see the Cyclops. Keep your gay shit out. These are jokes, everybody. That's a joke. This show that's like a Wiener and a Cyclops joke. I'm aware that there's a Cyclops in it. I saw Werewolf Brother. Come on now.
Brian, is this our
You both traveled hundreds of miles for VHS Fest.
vacation?
Yeah,
Oh. Are we trash?
kinda.
Yeah, I'd say that adds up.
Hoping you all can help me out with this. As you can see, this is a giant stack of frickin' movies.
This is cool. I watched about 10 seconds of this. What does this got to do with all this? You tell me.
They bought this from a Best Buy surplus, and yeah, there are thousands of movies here. There are so many, and I'm thinking about buying them all. All of these, they're all Disney Steelbooks. They're all the storybook line. There are so many of them.
Ooh, if there's Disney ones and stuff too, you definitely take that because you can sell that stuff. You can sell that stuff. I mean, ooh, you could probably get back 4 to 5 times what you spend at least with that Disney stuff. Come on now.
I cannot believe how many are in here. Guardians of the Galaxy in 4K. Yes.
Wow, I could actually. That can I have a copy, please? Can you send me one of each of what you got there? I just want to help lighten the load. You know what I mean?
278 of them in that box. Insane. There's a lot of Mission Impossible Fallout too. But then we have a lot of boxes that are just a hodgepodge of different movies. And these boxes go deep, folks. I mean, we're talking 4 layers deep.
Like, looks like how all my DVDs were when they were sitting in storage.
It's insane. I'm contemplating buying the whole lot, but it's like tens of thousands of dollars.
Tens of thousands? Why? You don't need that much, my guy.
I know that if I do sell these, it would probably be close to 6 figures. I just don't know if I have the...
Yeah, that's the problem is you got to have the time and willingness to put all this together, to catalog it, you know, and that ain't where my abilities lie. I couldn't do all that, keep it all straight, ship it all out, get it to the right place. Not me. That ain't me.
Nuts actually put up all this money. What do you think? Should I do it? Would you do it? Am I crazy to even think about it? Let
me just get a couple.
In this much physical media in 2022? Let me know in the comments because I really want to.
You can keep the Good Dinosaur. I don't want that. Even if you want to give it to me, you can go ahead and keep that. Go ahead and keep that movie. I think The Good Dinosaur was like really the kind of beginning of the end of Pixar. The one that really came in there and you're just like, bro, this ain't even a DreamWorks movie, man. Get out of here. This The Good Dinosaur? That's garbage, dude. Oh, the water looks great. So what?
So I posted that original video about 3 years ago now.
Oh my God, that was time travel shit? What the hell?
And I still am kicking myself that I did not pick up that collection. We couldn't agree on a price, but I do kind of want to go back and see if it's still available. Do you think I should?
It ain't going to be there 3 years later. They'd have parsed it out at this point.
I'm kind of thinking I should.
No way, dude. No way. No way. Can you do a David Lynch impression for me? Yeah. Give me a second. Try. Oh, wait. I got to do one of these. Here's got to go a little wacky. Here's got to go. I don't like it very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
This guy gave me a pitch last week, dude, and I told people that I wouldn't tell anyone. This guy said, you should be a ghost face, and I said, no, never. I'm good. I'm not bad. Yep.
I watched this TikTok and I had the same opinion that Jamie Kennedy had. Is like, why would you want to have his character who was dead come back as Ghostface or something? Hear this out. I think you're gonna get shocked.
But this guy said, no, you're a good face. You're a ghost face who's good, who uses all of his movie knowledge, and you're the only one who could defeat Ghostface.
Wait a minute.
Because you have the brains.
What?
Now, he is dead. We saw him get killed. So there is that.
And then he said Nev would look at you differently. And I said, well, what about me dying in the van? And he goes, well, we still have to figure that out.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of a big portion of it, ain't it?
Did you know that in Korea you can book a whole private booth to yourself in the cinema? And
check this out. I had to save this video via screen thingy-majigger. So I've watched this whole video. If you think that we got cool stuff here in America as far as your movie theater goes, check this out. Tell me if this is something that you would do.
there's fried chicken. This is Latte Cinema World Tower in Seoul. We booked the private studio booth for 80,000 won, which is around 22 euros per person. And it includes a goodie bag with slippers and water. Then you get your key card to get into your room. I was honestly a bit skeptical because you're watching the movie through a glass window, but you honestly don't notice it at all. The room...
It's like, I'm sorry, what? What? And this is less than a cost of a 4DX ticket. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of bananas.
The room was super clean as well, and you can also control the volume on these speakers. We actually came to the cinema for our dinner because they have such a huge selection of food. We got a chili cheese hot dog, some cheesy nachos, Korean fried chicken with sweet chili sauce. We got half Cheetos and half butter garlic popcorn, and sotok sotok, which is a sausage and rice cake skewer,
and fucking Mountain Dew, apparently. Oh man, you can't escape the dew, baby.
And you can order beer as well. You can freely talk in your own little booth, and we could...
Yeah, hey, listen, you talkers, go to your own flipping booths. If we could give talkers their own booths that they can have, by God, give it to them.
Freely have our own...
I'm going to be honest with you. The people that would go up to the booth to talk will be talking loud enough that you'd hear them through the booth. I could just promise you.
Own private little feast. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Now that's cool, man. Goes. I would. That's what if somehow I could have like a YouTube show or whatever, I would go across to all kinds of crazy movie theaters across the world, like good ones here in America, overseas, kind of like weird ones and junk like that, and then crazy ones like that. Hell yeah, that's what I would do.
Is there like a Criterion closet for gaming? Because I've tried watching Criterion and I like the idea of it, but it's not for me because I'm just not a movie guy. Like, I never know about 99% of the movies these people pull out. They'll go,
and that's the thing. That's the reason why I got this video is I wanted to kind of talk about that for a minute because, yeah, I think that's kind of the cool part about it is that you don't know about these things. And I think that's one of the important parts about the Criterion Closet and what that kind of video series has become over the years is really just kind of celebrities saying, hey, here's some of the movies that I like that are these art house, and independent features and stuff like that. So hopefully people that are fans of them can actually go out and check those movies out and, broaden their cinematic horizons. I think it's a great service that they're doing over there at the Criterion Closet.
to a shelf and be like, oh my days, it's Gulliver's Temptation. This is my favorite movie. And it's like, motherfucker, what is Gulliver's Temptation?
It's Gulliver's Travels, but get okay. Or The Last Temptation of Christ. It's really strange that you put those two films together, but here we are.
I can't help thinking to myself, if you put me in like a video game version of that, I'd be losing my mind like these people do with movies. Like, I'd be, oh my god, you have The Blob 1 and 2? What the fuck?
Does he know that The Blob is out on Criterion? Does he know that? Does he know that? Is that a thing that he knows? I had a Mountain Dew with cream soda. Do not recommend. I had it too. Yeah, I was just like, okay, that's a one and done.
What is the scariest movie of all time?
Oh boy, Joe has had a lot of bad takes about a lot of bad things. Let's see what his scary movie take is. Oh boy,
not Conjuring. Old horror movies.
First of all, The Conjuring is pretty damn scary. I'll go ahead and tell you that one. So, but let's see what he's got. If I'm to venture a guess, let's start a little guessing. Let's start a little guessing. Everybody says The Shining. They're wrong. I don't know. I don't know what his taste in film is.
What sense? Like old Dracula? Dog shit.
I agree. Bela Lugosi Dracula is not good. It's not scary. No way.
Dog shit film. The earliest horror movies were terrible. Jump scares were bad.
Not always. Not always. Not always. That's a very limiting kind of Gen Z thought process, but okay.
And people were shitting their pants over literally the least scary thing possible.
And people are watching The Nun today. So what are you talking about, son?
Sinister. Sinister is supposed to be like the scariest film ever.
It's not. It's a very good movie that ruins itself with literally the last shot. The last shot that decides to go super 90s for some reason. Goes like super late 90s, early 2000s. Gives you, wow, one of those at the end. Bruh, no.
Based on heart rate.
But the rest of the movie's good, though.
Like, scientifically, I think Sinister is the scariest film ever made.
Okay, so, like, God. When you do something like that, you have to have a much larger sample size than whatever they used. There's no valuable data that you can get from that stuff because there's just too small of a sample size.
When they did an experiment, they tested people's heart rate, and like it had a lower peak heart rate, but the average heart rate of somebody watching Sinister was like 120 or something. Like
No, that's bullshit. 120? No, you're not hyperventilating and stuff. 120 is fucking high. If your heart rate is at 120, that's like you're running at a very, very quick pace.
Stressed out the whole fucking movie. The era of slashers, Jason, Scream, or Friday the 13th, Scream, Ghostface, Freddy Krueger, awesome.
But are they scary though? I wouldn't call any of those movies scary. I like those movies. Would I call them scary? No.
I will say though, I wasn't a big fan of Nightmare on Elm Street. I've seen like almost every like type of slasher film, but I did not like Nightmare on Elm Street. Leatherface is kind of lame. Texas Chainsaw's goated.
There's elements of it that are interesting and scary, but there's a lot of that movie that's not scary either. I mean, Texas Chainsaw, while the dinner scene is scary and whatnot, at least unsettling. That's a better word for it. There's practically no blood in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. A lot of people don't remember that. Alex says it's The Exorcist for me. Exorcist is up there. Exorcist is a very scary movie, and again, if you don't think The Exorcist is a scary movie, do yourself a favor and find a theatrical screening of The Exorcist and go with a crowd. I'll tell you this. You find that people are still scared by that movie. You will find that they are still scared. He doesn't understand how squeamish people were 100 years ago when the sight of Boris Karloff as Frankenstein's monster actually made people scream. It's amazing makeup. The Frankenstein makeup is so it's just so amazingly good. And didn't he apply all that himself or the majority of it or some such nonsense? It's crazy.
It is a severe pet peeve of mine when fiction that is supposed to take place in a different time or a different setting is full of people who sound like they're living in America in the 2020s.
I agree. I think we're going to see some of that with the Odyssey coming up, and I'm sure that that's what this is all kind of about and whatnot. But let's see what the incoming Stitch is all about.
Your show takes place in the year 3000, but people are still saying bullshit to each other? You couldn't be bothered to invent any new invectives or interjections?
That's what I honestly liked about Battlestar Galactica, because they couldn't do the proper cursing and stuff on the Sci-Fi Network. They made up their own cursing and whatnot. I thought that was cool. I think it's also very cool in Star Wars with them saying Dank Farrik. That's awesome. That's a Star Wars curse. That's good. I want stuff like that. Yeah, you shouldn't say motherfucker. That's stupid.
Stars and stones. That is pure storming laziness.
I agree. Look at, oh boy, this gentleman's hair. Here we are. Like Sean says, I got good Wigdar. I'm telling you, you see how long he was on the screen for the second that I clocked it. I'm just saying, I think I'm pretty nice like that.
One correct to another, I'm gonna have to object. If your novel takes place in the year 3000,
in the year 3000,
No one's speaking English. Or, you know, maybe they are, but it's not English as you know.
Jazz English, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
No. Linguists have done reconstructions of English through the ages, and once you go back roughly 1200 years, you have no idea what they're saying anymore.
Fader ore, thu ert on helvanum, si thin name je halrov.
Ah, he's possessed! He's possessed! Somebody get the steak!
Tobe come thin riche, je werde thin willa on ervan swaswa on helvanum.
Oh man, I remember the first time I read Lord of the Rings. It was boss.
Okay, now roll that forward. If you really want to be dedicated, you're going to need to invent a whole new language and then teach your readers that entirely new language.
Tolkien says, hold my mead.
If you're J.R.R. Tolkien, maybe it'll work.
There you go. You see what I'm saying? It's like sometimes motherfuckers go, challenge accepted.
But most of us are definitely not Tolkien. And if we try to invent brand new slang, insults, or idioms, sure, there's a chance people will love it. And
like I'm telling you, Dank Farrick is a good one. That's a good one. That is a fully acceptable clanker. Clanker. We got racist things to call droids now. How awesome is that? You could say some really racist shit and it doesn't matter because it's a robot. Oh, come on. Clanker all day.
And say that it adds to the setting. Most likely, though, it's going to land with all the grace of a hippopotamus doing ballet and make it look like you're trying way too hard. 1,000 years from now, people will still be saying, oh, that's bullshit to each other or something.
You don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know that.
Colon thereof. For example, in Russian or Ukrainian.
Skibbity toilet. Do you think you're going to be saying skibbity toilet in the year 3000, do you? You think that's going to be a thing?
You'd say something that roughly translates to
totes my goats.
That's a dog's fever dream. But you get my point overall. It's simply kinder to your reader to use language that they will understand.
Right. But he's just saying that we shouldn't do, you know, regular idioms and stuff like that. That's because that's dumb. And like, yeah, I got thrown out of like the Odyssey trailer there of him saying, you know, you dad and daddy and stuff like that. It seemed weird. It seemed weird and odd to me. That's all. Just feels like you should be, you know, they weren't saying father back then. But yeah, but would they be saying daddy though? It's like that's your excuse, is that like, well, they wouldn't be saying father, so they would be saying daddy then. Fuck you.
And yeah, sure, it may be your pet peeve that people in the future tell each other that they're full of shit because that's what we say now. But I can assure you that way more people think it's infinitely more cringy to have characters go, yeah, that's right, I called you fragging slaghead because this is the future, and we have words that are different now.
No, you can overdo it. You can overdo it, and to be fair, Battlestar Galactica would also sometimes go a little bit too far. It was like, okay, all right, pump the brakes. You get one of those per episode at best, but it probably should be every other episode you get one. You know what I mean? Parse them out, make them count.
But like, mean the same thing.
What y'all think about that hair? Is that a wig?
Still, believe it or not, most people don't want their book to require 100 hours of constructed language Duolingo. And I say, just write what you want to write in the language that you expect people to read it.
Does he look like a bitch? Then why'd you try to fuck him like one? Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Brett. You tried to fuck him. But Marcellus Wallace don't like to be fucked by anybody but Mrs. Wallace. You read the Bible, Brett?
When I saw it, I thought, I don't think this is quite the film we made. And I think Paul had, it was either the studio or the producers. There was quite a lot of interference when it came to it was quite a long film. I think they cut it down, and I remember shooting scenes for that film that don't exist.
Old Sam Neill just passed on, and it's super sad, man. But we will be celebrating the man next week on HMP as we are in the summer of Spielberg, and our last movie in the summer of Spielberg is Jurassic Park, starring one Sam Neill. So we'll be talking about that and reminiscing about the man's career and whatnot. And honestly, I wouldn't be shocked at some point if we don't have a Sam Neill month at some point, because the man had some amazing roles, and I like Event Horizon. I always have.
And so there's been, because it's one of these films that has an afterlife, people come to appreciate it later. There's been a lot of pressure for a director's cut, but apparently that's not possible because they stored the negative in a salt mine or something. Don't ever store things with salt, because they rust, and apparently the negative is absolute shit, and so
that's terrible.
The director's cut is not possible. So it might have been a better film, but I think it's a film that works pretty well.
I like it. I like Event Horizon. Jurassic Park, Event Horizon, and In the Mouth of Madness are all 5-star movies. I think I agree with that. Yep. See, I told you, like, Wigger plugs. I clocked that shit so fast, though, bro. So fast.
George has admitted that when he hired David Prowse, he thought that was his Darth Vader. This guy who's over 6.5 feet tall, fits in the uniform, and not a bass, but more like a tenor.
Let me tell you something. I seen David Prowse at many a Star Wars convention and stuff. Never have I seen the man looking happy to be there. I've never seen him happy to be there, man.
Find the passengers of this vessel. I want them alive.
That it wouldn't work now, would it?
And it's a very effective voice, but George thought he wanted a darker voice. In the second one, because by now David Prowse knew his voice was not going to be used, so he just sort of threw the lines in. And Kirshner gave me a soundtrack with him doing the voice of Darth Vader. Kirshner's voice is like this, and I'm imitating him badly. But it was scary as hell. When George had a chance to counsel me, we said, we don't know what we did right, so let's just try what we did. And naturally, I wanted to make Darth Vader more interesting, more subtle, more psychologically oriented, and so he said, no, you got to keep his voice on a very narrow band of inflection, because he ain't human, really.
Man. You got to miss James Earl Jones, man. One of the class acts and stuff. One of the reasons that you never saw James Earl Jones go to any of these Star Wars conventions wasn't necessarily because he didn't want to do it. It's because he did not want. This is what the story goes. I don't know how true it is, but as far as I'm concerned, it's true. But the story is that James Earl Jones would not go to these Star Wars conventions, not because he didn't want to go, but because he did not want to charge people money for his autograph. That's right. If you there was a good long time there that if you sent a picture into James Earl Jones, self-addressed, stamped envelope, picture and everything, and you sent it to him, eventually, it would take a while, but eventually you would get that picture signed by James Earl Jones sent back to you. And I have one of those because a buddy of mine did it like, forever ago. But to pay me for watching over his Indiana Jones poster, which I did with glee and joy in my heart for years. It was just to look up at that poster for so many years was just fantastic. But I got a autograph, James Earl Jones little Darth Vader. It's about like that big. It's pretty sweet. Spent about a half hour with him at a comic book store signing. We were having tornadoes that day. I just want to make sure that was the word I was reading there. Tornadoes that day, and not a lot of people showed up. He was still happy and talked to everyone. David Prowse, not James Earl Jones. Okay, that's good. Good. I was just like, James Earl Jones was showing up talking to folks, but okay, good. Prowse that's good. Like I said, man, sometimes there's hit and miss people. My ex-wife went and got Anthony Daniels, and apparently Anthony Daniels was a piece of garbage, dude. He was just like, she was so happy, so excited to meet him, and he was just a POS.
Complaint number one, too many Hollywood movies are sequels or reboots.
Yes. 1,000% yes. Who could argue no? Who could argue no? I don't think anyone could.
They always have been. They always have been.
He's not wrong either, though. If you really look back at it, like, you know, I mean, even Hitchcock remade his own movies, right?
What Price Hollywood in 1932 was remade as A Star is Born 1937, was remade as A Star is Born 1954, was remade as A Star is Born 1976, and again recently. The difference is that memory didn't exist then. In other words, the person who saw What Price Hollywood in 1932 had no way of seeing What Price Hollywood in 1937. Therefore, in some weird way, A Star is Born then was new, and A Star is Born 1954 was new again, except for people who'd been around long enough to see the original one and remember it. In other words,
and exactly, and because you didn't have any kind of way to watch these movies at home or anything, that was it. The movie theater was it. There was no way to watch it post the movie theater. So if you didn't see it in that one go, well, you didn't see that movie. Then now did you?
Maybe for film critics. The problem with reboots is not the fact that classic material is being reconceived. In fact, that is kind of the definition of art. Sophocles reconceived Homer, and so forth. Now Christopher Nolan is doing so. The problem is the lack of freedom. In other words, I don't mean political freedom, I mean artistic freedom. That because the IP involved in reboots is often so valuable,
that they won't allow you to do anything outside of the realm of what they consider, acceptable for said IP.
Studios and producers place enormous constraints on filmmakers. I'm not a huge fan of most of the recent James Bond films. That's not because of James Bond. It's because of the circumstances, the conditions under which the movies are being made. I wish that Martin Scorsese or Sofia Coppola or Spike Lee or Wes Anderson could make a James Bond film and do so with the same freedoms that they bring to the work on scripts of their own.
Yes. How cool would that be? Remember the initial idea for the Mission Impossible movies that Tom Cruise had? It was each new movie would be directed by someone else, so it felt completely different. So your first movie is Brian De Palma, and your second movie is John Woo. Could you get any more different? It's pretty impossible. Then we're going over to J.J. Abrams. Then we're going over to Brad Bird. Like the weird, crazy changes that we were having every time. Imagine that in Bond. Imagine a new Bond every time done by a new director who brings what they bring to the table to Bond. Have that be the interesting thing. You know what I'm saying? Why not?
But
because frankly, I'm tired of the same Bond stuff we've been getting. I think Casino Royale was the last good one. Outside of that, I could give two craps.
Studio is not going to let them do it. The problem is not the idea of the reboot. The problem is the circumstances under which reboots are being made.
What's a sequel or reboot you've liked?
Old Boy. Spike Lee's Old Boy.
Oh, and all of a sudden he loses all credibility. Now I haven't seen Old Boy, but let's be frank. Why the hell does this exist? Why? Like, it's either like a shot-for-shot redo, like Gus Van Sant's Psycho, or they go differently than what the original Old Boy was. Either way, why would you want to watch it? Not wasting my time. Same thing happens with him doing with Spike Lee redoing High and Low. Why? I love Denzel Washington. Why do I want to watch that though? I've already seen High and Low. It's great. I don't need to see your shitty version of High and Low.
Much better than the original.
Ooh.
Whoa. I almost feel like I want to see the movie now just to prove this statement wrong. Holy.
That's
because he politicizes it.
That's an interesting take. No fucking shit. That's an interesting take. That's a bold statement, Cotton.
Very explicitly.
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, folks, we did it again. I didn't know we were ending on quite that big of an artistic bent there, but hey, we did it, everybody. And I want to thank you all for hanging out, man. We did it yet again. Another TikTok Trash Tuesday. Even though I said that this would be 2 hours, it's 2 hours and 45 minutes. We do what we do over here. But I want to thank you all for hanging out. We really super appreciate it. Spike Lee is remaking High Low. He's already done it, my friend. He has already done it. Stars Denzel Washington. It's out on Apple. Came out like sometime last year. No one really watched it. I heard I did a video talking about it. Crazy. Just what a dumbass idea. That is it, everybody. TikTok Trash come to a close. I would like to invite you all back here Sunday evening at 8 p.m. right here on YouTube, where we're talking more Steven Spielberg. That's right. The summer of Spielberg continues on, and we are covering Steven Spielberg's Always from, I think it's 1989, if memory serves. Me in 1989, I was watching Batman. That was my jam back then. So that's really about the only thing that I could really be thinking about in 19. Well, that and so like between that and like Last Crusade, it's like forget about it, dude. It's over. Those are going to be the two things that dominate your mind. But we'll be talking about Always next week, and then of course following that up with Jurassic Park, and I'm sure we'll give a little up. I can almost definitely see a top 5 for Neil going here and everything. So that is it, everybody. Join us back here on Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, for our review of Always. See you next time. Adios, everybody. Bye-bye. All the kids in Springfield are little SOBs.